Oh. Well, we tried it again, and it was better when I switched servers, and now it's not. I don't know what's going on. Doesn't want me to stream, I guess. Yeah, exactly, Eliza Bar. I'm not happy about it. This is the third time I've restarted, switched servers to see what's going on. I'm hoping I'm at least audible. But it was good. Like, if you go to the beginning of this, it was good for like a second. I was hitting the 10K KBS, and that's perfect. But now it's worse than the server in Texas, which is usually my go-to, but was running worse than this was. I don't know why. I've got nothing running in the back, so that excellent New Mexico internet. I hope you're doing. Got cold coffee and a bad attitude this morning. No, my attitude's could be better, but I guess so could my coffee, huh? Okay. Trying to figure out if I restart again and try Texas again, or I just say fuck it. It's just I haven't. It's annoying. Super frustrating. There's literally nothing else I could take off. Does that help? No. Let me look. Oh God, what's that called? I'm gonna run one of my just to see if I picked up some fucking miners, bot miners. Uh, I shouldn't have. I've got a decent antivirus, but sometimes shit slips through anyway. Just trying to remember what the. Oh, that's it. There it is. We'll run that in the background real quick and see if that helps. Basically, we're staying at the please stand by because if I throw on video, it's going to be super choppy. Super duper choppy. But yeah, going to be a lot of buffering. Yeah. Stop trying to sell me more things. Scan. Why does it keep hitting 0? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. There's no reason. Super exciting stream. I'm hoping you folks are absolutely enjoying its terrible quality. Staring at that glorious IronVerse butt crack. See, now it's okay. Right now. Just this second, it's like it's good. And then it's bad again. And it's really good. Okay, well, right now it's holding, so I'm going to say hi. Hello. And then it's not holding. It shouldn't be this variable. It should either be really bad or decent, not like all of it. It's hitting every spectrum of quality that's available. And right now it's really bad. And then again, it got better. It just keeps dropping. That's weird. I don't know. We had a troubleshooting stream. I think even the last one was a troubleshooting stream. I'm kind of done with that. Partially why I haven't streamed in a while. It's being more frustrating than enjoyable and doesn't really seem to achieve much anyway. But it is what it is. We're just going to hang for a few. See if this either sorts itself out, which sometimes happens, or not. While I'm scanning for bots, which I don't think I have any. It's just my only thought. It's like if there's anything else I can do on my end, I'd love to do it. Might have to switch to the doing a recording and then just streaming to one platform. Very loud all of a sudden. Thanks. And then just uploading that recording to YouTube instead of also streaming on YouTube. Just stream on Twitch, but that would isolate at least half of the small audience I already have. So I don't. Just wish this platform worked better. Just enjoy the track, huh? As much of it's come through. Usually audio comes through. It's the video that chokes the most when this kind of stuff's going on. My guess is just advanced system care that it's found. Oh no, there's a straight up hidden file hiding itself as an Elden Ring. Savecopy.exe. Ooh, that's nasty. How'd that get in there? Oh, there, we found at least one thing, so that's good. There. Resume transmission. Cool, because I couldn't find the button to click on. Okay. Display screen. Display screen. Alright. Right here. I do recommend Malwarebytes. I usually do pretty good about my PC health because it's very important to me to keep this machine going. It's been a while since I did this though. But yeah. The other one I recommend is Kaspersky. Yeah, I wish I was installing viruses. No, I'm hopefully removing whatever this is. Elden Ring savecopy.exe. There's no way a save would be an exe. It says it's malware, so we'll excise that in a minute. And maybe it's just a minor, and then once that's gone, maybe that'll help with this bitrate output, so that something's not taking all my bandwidth. Because I'm off of Steam. The only thing I got open is my browser and OBS. Yeah. Hopefully that'll do it. Maybe it is on my end, in which case it's fine. Thought I was scanning. Don't ignore those. I guess we'll do it again. That's a weird way to have me be able to do that, but okay. Oh, it's gonna take forever. Oh, you hit that down. I hit the wrong arrow. That's... today. Advanced system care stuff, that's fine. No, I don't want a VPN. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait again, that's fun. Skip track.
As you wish.
Thank you. So I'll just make this a longer chill stream and hopefully it'll actually fix. I got some cool updates. Quite a few cool updates too when we get there, but I want to, I don't know how bad the audio is. Yeah, we're hitting decent connection here and there. Hopefully once it... Oh, found that thing again right away. Is there a way I can just, not have to wait until the end of the scan to... No, okay. Okay. This isn't that bad of a computer either. I got a 3.6 Ryzen 5200 in there. I've got a 1660 Super graphics, which holds up. It's a little old, so drivers don't always work on it, which is kind of modern games that can run via its horsepower don't always work on it because of how it handles graphics compared to modern cards. So that's annoying. I think that was my problem with Darktide. A lot of people had problems with their graphics cards with Darktide. That's what was going on for me. Because it ran great when it was running, and then it would hit I think a memory leakage situation that happens with older graphics cards and how modern game engines work, and that would crash it very quickly. So hopefully that's patched before it comes in, and I think that's the problem with Elden Ring as well. Back when I started it, did that help? Didn't hurt. We can actually return these guys. These guys are fine. It's this one that's a pain in the ass. In fact, I'll run advanced system here. No, I don't want to restore Cody. Wow, I'm way tired today. Okay. Let's do... No. Well. Oh well. I wanted to do it, but that's fine. This, please. We'll run this too. Just doing everything on my end. Hopefully something works. Yesterday was kind of like this too with my vehicle, which was annoying, but it did work. I was lucky I have a spare vehicle. I had a meeting at work and all kinds of stuff I needed to do yesterday that almost did not happen. So, just insanity. Some days be like that. My cat. Don't try and go back up there. I removed you 3 times already. Nami. Nami. Oh well. I just hope she doesn't start playing cat and knocking things off of there. I guess I'll close this for a minute so I can actually remove the privacy traces. See if that helps. Holy shit, we're hitting green. It's running good now. Well, enjoy watching Advanced System Care in the quality I expect from my stream. Alright, we'll get to the fun stuff here in a minute. Should be good then. Okay, good. You got bored of that without knocking things over. Good cat. She's no longer in heat, which has been extremely nice. There were 2 weeks there, especially when I started work, where she was a little banshee, is the way to put it. We'll get her spayed here as soon as any of the vets have an opening. There's only 3 vets in all of northern New Mexico that can do spays and neuters. Not great. Not great. Alright, once this is done, then we'll go back to full screen and I can actually start the stream because now it's running good for whatever reason. I think that Elden Ring save copy was a minor. It was using my CPU and my bandwidth without my permission, so that's fun. So at least I took care of that now. If nothing else, that's good. Alright, it's almost done. I'll just hang out over here. Should be better quality now. I don't know why it started off so poor for the first almost 20 minutes. That's fun. Actually, more than that, it'd be about first half hour because I did a couple streams to begin with to see if restarting and switching the server location would help. So that's fun. But I'm here. I got it done. Well, got it going. I say it ain't done. Got a lot of things to talk about. At least now you can hear and see me as it should be. So, yeah, once this is done, I'll focus on that. We got Jack Irons 4 updates, big ones, some cool stuff. Maybe I'll show a little. We got my housing situation updates, which is cool. We got my work updates, which is cool. And we got the Halloween project, which I think I'll work on during this stream just to make sure I get more of it done. It's not a massive project. It's just getting me to sit and do it lately has been more difficult than I wanted it to. But I'm here, sit, focus, should be able to do it. Probably won't be able to finish it this stream, but we should be able to finish what I've got this stream just fine. Might do a little bit on the lettering script, might not. Yeah, I had a lot of plans for this stream, and now that the stream is working, we're good. Alright, we are good. Okay. Ugh. What a large set of hoops I had to jump through to get this. Now let's see if it's my browser. Opening the browser again so I can get speech chat working, and I can make sure everything's working on Twitch and all that. Okay, so far the KBS has not tanked when I open my browser, so that's good. It's not a browser infection. It was probably that Elden Ring save copy.exe. Ugh. Okay. Working, and it says just chatting. All right, we're good on there. Get speech chat on, and then let's unmute it because there's like nobody talking right now, so it's not a problem. Well, let's see. Once I turn it on, I think it'll start reading the chat log from the beginning of the chat, which is fine. Anything else there important? No. It's okay. I didn't know it was cybersecurity month. That's great. Huh. Alive there. It's the 25th. God, this year's gone by pretty quick. All right, we're good. Gosh, hey, look, the stream starts 22 minutes in. Oh, howdy, folks. I'm Cody with IronVerse Comics. Do another coffee. Cody and Comics. This is number 48. 48 of them. I think I missed last week. A lot of adjustments lately. No excuse, though. I wanted to be here every week. I wish I could make sure like it was a specific day every week. That way people knew and could actually participate instead of, hey, look, this is up. But ain't how I work, apparently. What's going on over here? Oh, it's at the bottom. Okay. Skip track. I don't know what that was, but it was too much. Breaking my brain. Okay. I don't know where to start. What are you folks most interested in? Been really contemplating how I've approached this work from the beginning. Had a wonderful meeting with Scott Kish, the third creator over at IronVerse Comics. He produces Wrath under Wicked Publishing. Folks are curious. He did not fund issue number 4, but came pretty close. And so he was figuring out what the next step was either to push forward with the IronVerse Comics project or to try Wrath again. Well, you'll see. I'm not going to ruin that. But he also is kind of in that, like, what's worked up to now is not working the same kind of situation. And I totally understand that and am with him on that. So hopefully there's some good growth coming because it's adaptation to survive, basically. Uh, but yeah, I guess on that note, let's just start with the good stuff. That way, if people aren't interested in me and they already watched 23 minutes of me trying to get this freaking stream working, at least they get the info maybe they are more interested in, which is Jack Irons issue number 4. We are 22 pages in. So, if this was a normal length comic book, we'd be done. But, well, technically 21 pages. We're missing one full page spread that he's saving for when he can focus a full day or so on it. So we are over 2/3 done with issue number 4 in terms of line art, and the colors have begun. Nothing in yet. I think they're just with the flatter. Steve is working many comics projects right now, and so I think we got time this much, which was good. But yeah. Hey, you. Yeah, earn your keep. Be cute. And aggravated that yes. She is one of the, like, she's affectionate, but she doesn't like being touched. Like, I'm used to, I've had many cats in my life, and most all of them at least liked being pet. She very much doesn't. Which is fine. She's a sweetheart. Like, she'll ask for pets sometimes. Oh, but she also does not like being held, which makes sense. I wouldn't like to be manhandled either. Huh, miss. Yeah. But yeah. Issue number 4 is getting there. Hopefully we should have the digital out by Christmas, is my hope. And the physical, I would love to have it printed and shipped by the end of January, which was our original plan, but I do not know how that'll work. It might. There's definitely... So I've been trying to prep folks through the updates. Like, I don't know how it's going to work out timing-wise. So I'm hopeful that people won't be surprised if something goes on with the printer or it takes a bit more time to get out. My hope is, and I had the meeting with Scott, so our hope is everything should be in everybody's hands at worst March, like everything, including like the extras and all of that. Likely the books will hit before the extras, or at least most of the extras, but we'll see. Again, there's a lot that's being played by ear right now. But the digital, I think we could, I mean, theoretically we could even have it out next month. But I think end of December around Christmas is probably like, that's a good goal. So we should have issue number 4 readable after then. But I'm not releasing the digital until the physicals are at the printer. So that's the bit. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's the timeline so far. It would be excellent if we can make the actual timeline of at least beginning fulfillment in January. I think it's possible still, which I didn't think was going to happen, honestly, because of how the team's schedule was lining up, particularly how line art was coming along. But Max has just been knocking out killer pages. In fact, this won't spoil anything, so I'm fine showing. Here's pages we have in so far. The last batch, since I showed something, starts here, so it's 4 more pages or so. I don't want to spoil these two because it's a character design I kind of want to pop up by itself. I want people to be surprised by. But it's coming together really well. I can't wait to see the colors. Like, as black and light artwork, like, I've been loving this page for months now. Months and months and months. So I can't wait to see Steve's take on it. This is all the stuff you've already seen, so I don't mind doing that. It's up on the campaign page. I will be updating the campaign pages as they come in colored, as I did the previous campaigns. Yeah. Jack Irons, number 4 is coming along. It could theoretically finish this month. We'll start letters as soon as we have a good batch of pages in. Once a good chunk of colors are in, then we'll start letters. I've started a coloring script, which wasn't hard. There's only just a few pages that need very specific notes. But I haven't started a lettering script, and my original script for Jack 4 is... There's a lot of unkind ways for me to phrase it. I'm trying to think of one that doesn't make me sound like I dislike it, because I don't dislike it. It was exactly what I needed to do to these pages, but now that these pages are here, it is obsolete. That's the kindest way I can put it. I was going to say it's up its own ass was my first bit, which issue number 2, if people read that, it's kind of up its own ass too. But I'm able to see where the line art and the artwork itself is going to be able to speak, where I need to shut the fuck up much more clearly here, and still be able to tell the story. There's some very specific parts I need to nail, some back and forth dialogue that communicates the goal of the issue that I need to tweak, because again, the original was kind of up its own ass. I had its original, the birth version, the version that goes to Maxi, is basically just getting the ideas down in a form that can be manifested, but now I need to refine them to a way that honors the work that's been done off of that, right? So that's where we're at there. I need to sit down and do that in the coming weeks. Again, once this first batch, so we're waiting on 10 pages Steve's been paid for. So once those 10 pages come in, then I'll start in between now and those 10 pages coming in, I'll do the lettering script, at least for those 10, and get Vince, our wonderful letterer, those pages once they're in, alongside a lettering script, right? I'm still figuring out how I want to do a lettering script. I'd like to do a more traditional one where it's just a script, but I might go back and do it the way I used to, which is basically letter it myself on the page, my terrible lettering. So that's an idea, and I can feel the flow and I can read it. And then it makes Vince's job a little bit easier too, because he's like, oh, okay, that worked, or okay, that did not work. Let me refix this, right? But either way, I can actually read it and feel it on the page. So that might be what I do. I will not stream that. I might record it and then release it as bonus material. Because some folks might be interested in it, but if I stream all of it, then super spoilers. Even having this up so long, super spoilers if people were that interested. But if people are that interested, just go to the Patreon, give me $1, and you have access to all these pages already. You can look at the whole thing. It's the top post now. So, yeah. Super excited. Issue number 4. Scott Kish's project with us also is moving forward. That, alongside the Cactus Coyote Ashcan, should be releasing alongside either the digital or the physical release of Jack. They will be digital, but I'm not sure the timing of those releases, particularly the Cactus Coyote one, because that's also being colored by Mr. Cannon. So we'll see how that lines up. But things are falling together, which has been really good for my peace of mind. I try to balance running a tight enough ship that shit doesn't fall apart, and a loose enough ship that people don't abandon it. So it's tough. It's tough. It's a hard thing to bear when you're dealing with everything else. And on that point, I guess, on the everything else point, the 2 battles I was fighting, and I was very fearful of fighting them at the same time, were securing ownership of the house and securing a new job. And so far I've been able to succeed in both at the same time. but I just needed to, I guess, have a fire lit under my ass to do it, which is not great, but I'm super grateful it can happen, and I'm very grateful to you wonderful folks for helping me. Skip track. It's a great track, but like talking over it, right? There you go. And so, yeah, I have a meeting on Halloween to finalize the house transfer with the lawyer. Hopefully that doesn't take too long, and he's got to answer a couple other interesting questions. Like, we have a well share here. The well's on my property, so I pay the electricity for it, or like 5 houses on that water pump. But like, it's a well share, so theoretically it's supposed to. But then one of my neighbors passed recently, and she owed quite a bit to me because I've been paying it without. It's a complicated situation. I want to see like what the step forward would be, and then I'll follow through with it. So that's a question I gotta get answered. But then once this transfer will be good. And then my work has been interesting. The first day was a lot. Like it was doable. I did it. But like it left me like terrified because of what it sounded like they're expecting of me. The amount of work they were expecting, that like for me would be relatively untenable and unnecessary because I don't need that much money. I'm a guy who, I don't work for money. I've never worked for money. Like I work for whatever the job is, whatever it actually accomplishes, and then I get paid for it. Like that's how I've always functioned in my head. And so it's the only way I can commit to something. Whether it's this comic work, right, or it's other jobs I've done. Every job I've done where it's like I'm working to get a paycheck, I burn out like that. It's not something I enjoy. But if it's accomplishing something, building something, taking care of something that is fulfilling in of itself, then I get paid, then it's sustainable. And so, I tried for months to kick up more of a consistent, like, homegrown business of pet sitting, and that actually kept me afloat, but it didn't ever hit a level that was sustainable, right? And I had two other gigs, which one of them I still have, with the publishing social media manager position, and another one which was kind of a gopher, a GOFOR, for a buddy, as well as a kind of a chauffeur role and a couple other things for him, and that fell through because his financial situation changed. He's a very talented painter and just artist in general, sculptor. He does quite a few different things. He spent most of his life doing construction. He's a Deadhead, right? So he spent a lot of time doing the Grateful Dead tours back in the day. Cool cat, very cool cat. One of these days I'll get a hold of a piece of his and show you folks, because it's pretty killer. I really enjoy his work. But as an artist, he had a couple patrons, and as the economy and things have changed, the patrons kind of shifted, and so he could no longer be a patron of mine, right? So it's rough. Hopefully that does come back. That's the plan, if he can secure that. But right now it's not working for him, and that's fine. But those two gigs alongside the pet sitting kept me afloat the last couple months. But once that other one kicked out, I had to really find something that was consistent and had a paycheck, because the pet sitting thing just was not happening on a consistent level, and that's okay. Honestly, it's very interesting. It was an interesting experiment, and I did well at it, but it's an experiment. And so from there, I tried the shelter gig, and the first day was really rough. The environment wasn't bad. It's just my first impression of the environment was bad. Like like how the animals were treated. Like there was no sense of evil or darkness or whatever, right? Like there wasn't a bunch of hurt critters, there wasn't a bunch of neglect, like none of that, which very good. Red flags were like how some social interactions were going there, and how I felt like there was a lot of being there's a difference between being a dog owner and being a dog person, and I felt some of the employees leaned heavier towards the owner section, which its first impression was it, right? Where like these are things to serve me. This job's here to serve me, right? I felt a lot of that. Glad to say after the second day I was wrong, very wrong. But that first day, that was part of it. It's like, oh, do I want to be a part of that? Because it means that I, coming from a different perspective, might have to carry a lot more weight while I'm there to get things done and make sure things are taken care of to a level that is acceptable, which was part of my problem at my old job. But my old job had no excuse for it. This gig, it's a shelter. It's not it's a non-profit kind of deal. It's not a business where you're earning enough in to be taking great care of those animals, and you're not. It's a very different situation. But so far, the second day again, it was a lot better. It's a lot better, and then by what I've done 6 days over there so far, and I'm totally able to maintain it, and I like it, and I'm getting to know the dogs, and the people are good, and biggest heartbreak so far, and there's probably going to be worse. I've had to carry the dead bodies. I've had to do those fun things, but is one of the dogs I knew from my old work ended up there. So that kind of that was a heartbreak, because I know the dogs were well taken care of, because he had Chunky Boy for one, but for two, because he, people didn't tend to leave their dogs over at my old work without, it cost money, right? So they cared for their dogs. Turns out there is a story behind why that dog is there, and it's not as bad as I was worried it was, but it's more complicated than I thought it was, right? Like, what I thought it was simple and bad, but it's complicated and not great. It's a little so that's annoying, because I really like that pup. He's I understand him, I guess. It's like, I like that dog. The situation in which these critters are kind of kept sucks, but it's a lot better than many other situations, and that's part of this work. And I'm trying to take it as, and I think I am taking it as, life experience, understanding these mechanisms. There's a lot of these difficult mechanisms in life. Top down, I think everybody understands these exist, and most people are able to leave them in the shadows, right? And some very brave and strong people dive in and work on them for free in a lot of cases, right? A lot of volunteer work. But then there's also just the hard mechanisms. But nonetheless, most of the work that I've done over there is comparable to the work I did for 5 years over at the other place. A little less active with the animals, which is not as fulfilling, but the little bit of interaction I get to do with the animals is more fulfilling in a personal basis. So, because I know that those critters, and they show me they appreciate the attention more. They need the attention more. So, I'm feeling it out. And so far so good. I don't see any reason I'd leave that gig. I just got to keep doing a good job, and I should be okay. I just hope they don't get to a level where they want to see how much work they can extract out of me, and then I burn out. That's my only worry. And that's what I fought for the first time. I wasn't like, I didn't want to stay because I knew I'd burn out like that with what they were really asking. But then I negotiated. We're okay. So far, we're okay. And so, yeah. I've got footing again for now. And it should stick around. I don't see why not. Again, I like the director of the place, which one of my problems at the old gig was this new boss. I liked him well enough until I saw him say one thing and then not do that thing. Oh yeah, I've been on for a while. Oh good, this is the speech chat's working too. I'm gonna turn that off now. I just wanted to make sure it was working. Pause speech, please. Yeah, it took me a while to get this stream functioning correctly, and I think it was because of a bot miner I had hiding on my machine that I hadn't done a clean sweep of it for a while. It was hiding itself. It called itself Elden Ring Save Copy.exe, which there should be no fucking executable that has to deal with a save. I was hiding my downloads folder. It's fishy. So anyway, that's gone, and I think that extracting that sucker fixed it. Pretty sure it was a miner, so whatever it was doing, it was just extracting my resources for either Bitcoin or whatever the fuck. But yeah, so that's good. Got that settled, and we're here. It's running. I did an update on Jack 4. So if you're interested in that, that's probably 15 minutes back. And then I did life updates, which is about the house, which was about, 10 minutes back. And then I talked about my new job. And that catches you up. Talked a little bit about our conversation, but nothing like spoilery, Scott, so you're good. Not even plans or anything, just that we both kind of are in a position of figuring out how to adapt and grow in a changing environment, right? That's basically all I said. So you're good. You still got the surprises under your hat. Otherwise, yeah, I think that kind of did cover everything I wanted to talk about today, but it took, a half hour to get this thing running to any kind of competent level. It does that every time I don't stream consistently, and I think it's just the machine spirit being angry with me. Which happens, you don't respect or understand something. You already got the Jack updates? Yeah, pretty much. Thanks. I'm just glad that it feels feasible and I feel like I can do it, which first day I did not. Second day I did, so that was weird. I was planning on, I actually had looked through a million other gigs after that first day, just like, can I do this? Do I want to do this? I don't really like the place for these reasons, blah, blah, blah. So okay, gave it a second day, which I had even worse sleep than the first day, thanks to Miss Nami being in heat and screaming like a banshee at all ungodly hours. But she was hurting. I can't blame her. Like, it's not pleasant for those cats. You can tell it's not something they're like. It's like, I'm guessing it's like having the most raging erection and not able to do anything about it, like for hours. It wouldn't be that fun. So it's why they say it lasts more than 4 hours. Call your doctor. So as soon as one of the 3 vets up here that can actually do spays is free, she'll be taken care of, so I don't have to worry about that again. And she doesn't have to worry about that again. So we'll see. Hopefully I solve that soon. Hopefully not too many surprises this time around. Just lots of momentum. Momentum's really hard to keep up. The only momentum I've really ever been able to keep up is very passive. Like at the beginning when I started this, I was super hungry, right? And super like naive. And had a clean slate, right? So I was acting from less knowledge, which means bolder moves. Uh, Whether or not you even see them bold at the time, that's just how it functions. Um, and over time, I've become more cautious, uh, which has been good and bad. I mean, I've taken many swings doing this, and none of them knocked me on my ass for very long, at least. One of them almost knocked me out of the game because it just sucks. Like, it still pisses me off greatly. But yeah, it's a wild ride. Surprised we're getting 4 out. Still like, okay. Like 3, I was like, okay, I'll run another campaign. Last day, crazy people. And then this one, I was like, okay, I'll run another campaign down the line. I'll take a breather, feel it out. Maybe I'll take a long breather. And funded last day. Okay, I guess we're doing this. So, I don't want that to happen again. I'd very much just like a steady and then funded and then go and next go. But I don't know. Since it took less backers, more money to get this thing done. Now that is a very competent and successful way to do this work. Particularly a lot of people on one side of the aisle that do crowdfunding comics, that's their MO. They will provide you a bunch of unique and expensive things that basically subsidize the comic production. That's slightly what I did with this campaign, just to see if it worked, and it did. I don't think we would have funded had I not put a bunch of different tricks in the hat, like original pages or the standees, the bundles, all that stuff that like I touched on with issue 3's campaign, but didn't really like lean into like I did this one. It's a bit worrisome because of how I budgeted things. Won't lie there, but so far so good. As I said earlier in the stream, anybody who's here now, issue number 4, hopefully the digital should be done by December. I don't know what Steve's schedule is going to be. That's going to be the main limiting factor. Maxie's thinking he's going to try and finish the issue by first week of next month, which if he does finish the line art by then we're in good shape. We could actually make release, which is still something I wasn't expecting. But we'll see. I would very much like to make release because I put it way far out this time so that we wouldn't be late. But I've been looking at how things are producing. I'm like, it's very likely. So we'll see what the main limiting factor is going to be. Steve at this point, and whatever the printer is about. That's the main limiting factor because I want the books to be at the printer before I release the digital. If that can be done by December, end of December, which is the earliest it would be, great. Then we should actually maybe be able to start fulfillment by the end of January, which would technically be on schedule. If not, which I think is likely, I always, the Russian proverb, hope for the best, expect the worst. That's kind of my MO. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, I expect the best, and we're early. I don't see that happening. I see on time or slightly late at this point, and I'm looking at slightly late. But yeah, it's almost done. Crazy. The only thing that might limit it is I may have to triage what extras are when. So as soon as, my hope is I can get the prints done at the same time I'm getting the printed copies of Jack done. I can get the 11 by 17s done, so we can ship those together. I should be able to finish the sketch cards that we've gotten by then, so I just ship those, and those will go out with each issue, right? Then otherwise, I'll just mail those myself again. That's not a problem. It doesn't cost that much extra. Um, then we got to do some painting again, which I'm looking forward to. I've actually been with Darktide and then Magic the Gathering doing a 40K set and such. I've been getting more into 40K again. So I almost want to paint something today. So we might do that stream later. There's a particular Wolf Lord model I would like to maybe do today if I feel up to it. I think it'd be fun. I haven't done a painting stream for a while, and I really do love painting. Like I'm not. I like drawing too when I get to it. I love art. I'm not very good at it, but I love it. I think my painting, if I take my time, it can actually be pretty good. My miniature painting. I haven't done much actual painting, like on a canvas. That is something I'd like to pick up, though. I'd probably do more abstract stuff. But yeah, I really do appreciate like art creation. Oh, that's the other thing we're gonna do here. While I'm thank you for your fingers crossed, by the way. So once I'm done yapping, you folks will probably just be staring at me while I work on this Halloween project because I've been trying to sit down and knock out more of it. It's not a very intimidating amount of work. It's just with work. It's been a little bit harder to focus, especially when I've got all of a sudden a ton of projects on my doorstep. It was wonderful. It was just 1 week where everything just like lit up. I got the new job. I got, you know, I did a band tryout that I'm still in. I haven't heard when the next go is going to be. As far as I'm aware, I'm still in. But been playing bass again, which has been forever. I've learned a couple new songs, not for the band thing, but because I wanted to, which has been great for the soul. Forgot how much I love playing music. I had this thing around that time before the band thing kicked up. And then my work at the shelter kind of wants me to help them work on their website, and they want there could be a lot more they try to get out of me on those kind of angles rather than the animal caretaking angle, which if I can help, I want to help. It's a decent place. I would like them to feel more successful. Yeah, so I've just been like looking at a bunch of different things. Like, okay, that's a lot of stuff, and then that's kind of where it goes. So we'll work on this Halloween thing again. I don't want to spoil it, so I might show a little bit of it just so you guys got an idea. But since nobody really watches this, that like would care. But after that, I don't know. If I feel up to painting, I'd like to paint today. Just gotta clear this table in front of me and set up the camera correctly, get the lights going right. It's a little bit of effort. More effort than the drawing streams. But I don't know. I would like to paint that guy. I also need to know if I have the proper colors that aren't all dried out in my acrylic paints. Because I might not have enough. In which case, I can at least figure out like what paints I need to go buy. Main worry is the blue-gray, the Space Wolves blue-gray. I'd like this particular figure to lean more on gray. And I don't know if I have... There is a Space Wolves color that I have, but I don't know if it's like all dried out or what. So there's some stuff there I need to do. But I don't know. I guess we do that Halloween thing. Basically, what I'm doing is lettering some images. That's what I'm going to be doing, and I don't really want to spoil them. But I might show so folks get an idea. Again, it doesn't, like... If this got hundreds of views, it would be a bad idea. But, like, this is going to get 15, maybe. On average, that's kind of my view count on this. But yeah, one more time since I have this open before I close it. I can show think I've shown this full page. So then I can show this one as well. But that's all I can show. These were homage pages, and I hope people catch the homage. But yeah. Just missing page 19 here, but that's another full page, big spread with a lot of detail that Maxie has in mind, so he's saving it for when he can just focus on that page. Yeah, it's gonna go down. From there, let's see. Let me. Am I just lettering him? I gotta check that I have the images first off. They should be, because I'm using multiple PCs. I'm doing a lot of the image generation on the PC out there, but I actually have to do the work in here. That was the other big thing I didn't talk about, but it was kind of a big deal for me. Same time, so with the new job and all these different things, new creative energy just being like flooded into the life with, I think, the new moon. I redecorated like crazy. So around here, it's been, there's a lot of grief. It's a lot of grief around here for me. Like, it's a sad heart. With my cat passing recently too. It's just a lot of like counting losses. But I had the energy, and I basically tore apart my parents' old room and was able to take a bunch of stuff out. I reorganized and basically reshuffled a ton of fucking energy into the main part of the house, and like it was instantly felt better. It's hard to explain, but basically it was kind of a claiming, a reclaiming, right, and a readjustment of all these objects that held very heavy energy. Being able to reutilize them and make them my own. That energy and that weight attached to them faded a little bit. And it was instantly like noticeable, and I did that. I must have put like 15 hours into decorating last week, and then I was still doing it here and there. Bought some more frames. I was finally able. So it's been years I've been wanting to hang up my original run of the 11x17 prints, like forever. For the longest time I didn't even have them. Then I finally got them in, and I was trying to sell. When things were getting desperate, I was even trying to sell what's left, which I didn't want to do, but I was like, anything to just stay afloat. Things are going to get bad quickly, so I was jumping on top of it. Anyway, I was able to hang some of those up. Man, I've been meaning to do that forever, and so that helps like reclaim the space as well, where it's things that would be out there unless it was me, right? Like, there's a lot of that stuff that continuously needs to be done. But, yeah, that was good. That was good. So what do I need? Here. Oh, and I need to open that too. So open this. Did I not move the script for that into here? I didn't. That's annoying. So I gotta find the script for this project. And yeah, so this is just gonna be me working. So I'm gonna turn the speech chat back on. And you folks are just gonna be watching me, and I'll talk when I feel up to it. This is a goofy project, but it combines a lot of things that I like and art that I can produce together in a way that I hope is unsettling for Halloween. It's literally just to be like, I'm not trying to make this glorious, beautiful thing. I'm trying to make a unsettling experience for Halloween. I think this will achieve it. I don't know how many people are going to get through it. Some people are going to have some very strong opinions on it, which is totally fair because it's weird. But if you're going to use quote-unquote necromancy in some cases, or other shiftier perceptions of this type of work, there's no better time than Halloween. Right? So if I'm going to do this, I should do it. So basically all I'm doing is lettering images. happy to show them, but they're not you know, if somebody asks, hey, what are you doing, then maybe I'll show. But the main thing is going to be getting Pickverse open, and then remembering the font I'm using on it. When this project finishes, it'll be compiled into a PDF and released on Global Comics. And that's where people can get it. I'll schedule a release for Halloween. Hopefully this is done far before Halloween. It's 31 pages, 32 counting the cover. I got to figure out how I want to do the cover, though. I have ideas. I got to put a logo on it. Like that. The cover's going to be fun. The cover's going to be fun. I might even have the images for the cover that I want. Yeah. I just wanted something unsettling, and every factor in this should work. My writing on it, definitely each piece is going to need a little bit more adjustment, which I've been doing as I go. But yeah, I don't know how folks are going to take it. I don't expect it to be like this big blowout success or anything, but again, if it just unsettles somebody in Halloween, it's done its job. And it should. The other bit is it should be a very quick read, so like I'm not asking a lot of time for people to experience this thing. Cool. Well, this worked right away. Great. I need to download basically all of these. Download. I need to replace them. Because again, I'm doing this, the image generation on multiple machines. A lot of devices, honestly. In fact, that's one of the things I like most about this, is I can do it on just basically any device I have, because it goes through Discord. Like, that's dope. Really easy. Discord's little sigil changed to a jack-o'-lantern on fire. That's cool. Skip track. Skip track. Oh, you asked. Yeah. 9:45. You asked. Having connection issues. Yes. The answer was yes. I was having connection issues. Whoops. Didn't have Discord open. Because I was seeing if that was the problem. Okay. Is there a particular image out of these that I want to use for this? Just something unsettling. What was the most unsettling of these? You know what? I think that'll be a... Yeah, okay, I think I have the cover. Do I want to do the cover now? No, I think I'll just save it. Unable? That's annoying. Okay, let me go, did I have... It's nice that you can open tablets on another device, but I don't like that that's like there all the time. It's not... Move from toolbar right now, okay? Yeah, no, I don't like that. I do not like that. Okay. Didn't have that. No, good. Yeah, it should be real quick. I just don't... Like, I don't even know how much it's worth keeping a secret. Honestly. Like, I could build hype for it, but I think it's just kind of cool to release something that, you know, I did tell people that, like, it's coming already. Just a small announcement. Didn't get much hype, which is fine. Most stuff doesn't these days. But, yeah. It is a form of storytelling in which I've seen many folks recently attempt, but that the art form and medium that they're using, the tools, I guess is actually the better word, the tools they're using are not capable of doing yet. You can do it if you... It's basically a whole aspect of stuff I'm actually exploring with another collaborator. Folks might know him as David Schmeling. Um, he does a lot of cool stuff. Wonderful fantasy illustrator. But he helped me figure out. Hey, look at that! Sexfind.xyz. Free girls in my city. What? Free? Okay, let me delete that, please. Unless somebody can get to it before me. Oh, look at this. In U City. Yes. That's exactly. Oh, everything's going to hell. Twitter, same thing. Bunch of bots recently. Hide. Please just go away. And can I ban your ass? Yeah, let's make him a moderator. Okay, report it. Remove. Okay, hopefully that fixed that. Let's see if it. Let's see if they went through Twitch, because I'll have to do it there too. Yeah, bot invasion, man. It was nice to see a bunch of followers, but then I was like, I'm still seeing followers. What? I got like 30 followers the last couple days on Twitter, which is way crazy. Unless, you go viral if there's something stupid, right? And they were all of a specific political persuasion. And like, oh, okay, well, if Elon's buying Twitter, these are either people flocking back and then finding me, which is weird, or they're bots from a particular country that is kind of pissed. Or friendly, I guess, would actually be probably more accurate because of the discussion or the what's the word? The vibe around Elon and Ukraine. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't go on a blocking spree because they're not like interacting at all, and the numbers are okay, and I don't do anything in which the bots would hassle. But it was definitely like, I'm like 90% sure they were bots. There are some Japanese bots with a bunch of like numbers on one end, but then there are like very specific how they framed their profile pages as well that were not Japanese. Very, very American. Very, very American, like super patriotic, let's just say. And they all had that similar vibe with variances. They didn't have a bunch of numbers after their tag and stuff like obvious bots. But I'm pretty sure they weren't just like these people feeling safe to be on Twitter again. I'm pretty sure they were a particular section, a particular country's attempts to influence elections. That's my guess. It's to influence our upcoming midterms. Is why we're getting swamped with these very particularly flavored accounts. Free girls in U City. Click to reply. No, how do I? Mod view. Thank you. There's a whole view on Twitch that's different. I've never done the mod view. Okay, how do I? Oh wow. Okay, I don't want to learn things. I just want to delete chat. How do I delete chat? Hi Nami. How do I delete chat? Hi, baby girl. Oh, you want to come sit next to Dad? Thank you. So you can't just click on it. How do you? This is Restream Bot, but I don't want to ban Restream Bot. I just want to remove comments from very specific. Can you not do that on Twitch? That seems dumb. Deleted messages. Choose how you want to view deleted messages. But how do I delete messages? That's all I want to do is delete a message. Click to reply. No. Mod actions. But that's just that's what's been done before. Wow, this is complicated. Bye, Nami. Channel actions. That's how you can turn on emotes only, which is fun. How do you simply delete a message? Like, I don't want to ban RestreamBot. I deleted it off of YouTube. So now I want to go through and do the same thing on Twitch. This is what I'm seeing. Except for this, which you can't see. I could block specific terms, right? Like that would solve it later, but that's not... I don't want later. I don't want to simply get rid of the user. I want to get rid of sexfind.xyz's reposted message and just the messages. You would think it would be simple, like on YouTube, it's just like a couple buttons, boom, delete message. But there's no, I can only reply here. This is mod actions that have already been taken by other people. Thank you, Eliza Bar, when you banned MK Petros. But I don't want to ban RestreamBot. RestreamBot is a tool. I want to remove this message. Like I did on YouTube. How? Port ban timeout. Quick whisper. Obviously you can't, because there's an option on deleted messages. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna hit please stand by so I can get up and turn off this heater. It's getting a little too warm. And then I'll be right back. Please stand by. Okay. Both of those are working again. Alright. Please stand by. There you go. There we go. Everything's all set, working again. Lizbar, do you know how to delete a message on Twitch without having to ban the user? Because I just want to delete these Restream bot comments that were from a bot. It was double bot. But I don't want to ban Restream bot because I use him so that YouTube and Twitch can communicate with each other, right? Like, it's not a biggie, but it's there, right? All I have is an option to reply. I don't know how to delete a comment. It's like, oh, it says ban or report. You can time out the user and it will clear it out. Oh, it's timeout. Thank you. Okay. Timeout. 15 will do. Okay. I mean, that deleted all of them, which kind of sucks, but, like, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, cool. It's timeout. Thank you. I know now. You can do a timeout and then immediately untimeout. Click on the user's name, which would be here. Or well, we're over here already. And then untimeout. I see. Cool. Right on. Okay, that's how you do it. Alright, that's helpful. Because I was able to go into YouTube and just go like, click, delete comment. Click, delete comment. And I just wanted to delete those specific ones from here. And, I mean, this was bad. But, it eliminated everything. But it's better. Mortal Death God, welcome. I got a new job. Yes, I did. Congrats. Thank you. You had a job for 2 months. You sucked. It sucked really bad. That's no good. So you quit. And that happens. Sick now. I'm sorry to hear that. But you're going to be job hunting soon. Well, I hope you feel better soon, and that will allow you to get back on that hunt and find a place where you can be sustainable with your work, because that's important. For me, it's super important. My old job became unsustainable, and I was in a position where I could leave it, so I did. And then things got rough, and I did quite a few things that got me through, but then things were looking real bad for me. Like, I only had a month or two, and I'd be in some serious shit. So I got ahead of that and tried this one, and the first day was terrible. Second day was significantly better, and I was able to negotiate so that I didn't feel like I was going to burn out within a week or two. And so now I'm kind of comfortable with this gig, and hopefully it's going to be another one I can be at for quite some time. One I didn't think I'd actually have the heart to do either, which is kind of nice. I'm glad I'm stronger than I thought I was. In those aspects, so it's good. It's good. Things are moving forward. And thank you. Also, thank you, Eliza Bar, again. At least now I know. I need to know how to interact with Twitch at the same time, just in case some crazy shit goes on. There's no mods over there who know what they're doing, because I don't know what I'm doing ever. But yeah, I did. Thank you, Death God. Okay, you know what's been pissing me off? So we'll get to me working on this other thing here eventually. I am so sick of these posts. Like, I've been tolerating them for a while, but like the NFT shit is like way past old for me. Like, I am just so tired of it and being tagged in them consistently. Like, skip track. I still need to delete that one out of here. I don't like that one. It's from West of Dead during the cemetery level, and it's not bad, but it's just annoying. But yeah, this is bugging me. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but like, it bugs me. Like, what is this actually Rolling Stones magazine? Because you got a Bored Ape on it, like, or what? Like, the animation's good, whatever. It's original art, which is good. Fucking A, compared to what NFTs were and probably still are doing. It just got quiet. Fine. now that AI art has hit the mainstream, NFTs have no fucking excuse to directly steal art from creators. I mean, it's still, depending on how you feel about AI art, it's indirectly stealing. But it is still infinitely better than directly going to DeviantArt and lifting someone's hard work, which was a thing forever and probably still is a thing, but hopefully there's no fucking excuse now. There was an excuse to begin with, but now it's just like there's even a fucking tool there. Use the fucking tool if you're going to be this digital prick. But yeah, this shit I'm really sick of. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough that I do things like that. And I rarely block people, but I don't even know if that's a person. Good chance it's an AI that's just there to promote this stuff again, to slam it out there enough that hopefully some folks are like, well, I need money, so NFTs are okay as long as I make money. Yeah. Yeah. What's Dead good? You're thinking about getting it? I enjoyed it. I've just beaten one full. Well, I played a lot of runs. I put like 15 hours into it, but like I've only beaten the whole game. Gone through a full complete run once. I got to the final boss twice. The first time I didn't know it was the final boss, and I lost to him, and then I had to start again. Right. But the second time I got to him, I beat him. I was like, okay, I'm ready for more, and it just kind of ended. Ron Perlman's great voice actor. The music is stellar. I fucking love the soundtrack. That's why it's on my streaming tunes. Yeah, I would recommend it. If you like roguelikes, it's good. I enjoyed it. It's definitely worth my time. But I'm a big Western fan as well, right? Okay, we're gonna work on it. Oh, that's what I did. I downloaded the thing. Scatterbrain today. I'm working on a secret Halloween project, which I probably will show a little bit of because I'm just like I'm excited, but we'll see. But I downloaded a thing, which I then need to use to update my folder that I have on the PC off of the cloud. So I need to do that. Where was that? Here. Let me look. Does this tell me where it was? Downloads. Okay, well that makes sense then. So we'll just copy this. I gotta look for the folder entitled Halloween Project. It's a goofy little thing. I'm really hopeful I can finish it in time. That's my only concern. Yeah, you can replace them. It doesn't matter. Okay. How many pictures are in there? 28. I need 31. So there's a couple more I have to generate. There's a good chance. There's actually probably a very good chance I have to generate quite a few more. You finally jumped in on Cyberpunk. Been enjoying it. Oh, great. I'm still waiting for it to be a complete game. Not to be that kind of guy, but I feel like I would be saying wait for the trade paperback kind of idea, but that's where I'm at. Cyberpunk launched so terribly that I'm still waiting for No Man's Sky to be a complete game, to be honest, and they've worked very hard saving that game. Cyberpunk, they've worked pretty hard to save it. By 1.6, I'd say is probably how it should have been at launch. Which it's not great. It's years later, man. So I tried it on my PC and it ran, but then I tried streaming it and it did not. And so so I refunded it. For me to enjoy Cyberpunk, I want it to be optimized and I want it to be finished. They're only doing one DLC for it, so after that DLC releases and they release a Game of the Year edition or whatever they call it, a complete edition, there wasn't Game of the Year, then I'll get it because it did look fun. I did enjoy my time with it, but I wasn't going to just play it. I wanted to play it on stream. Last game I played kind of like this, God of War. I had not played that. I've been enjoying the Sony releases on PC, and I was like, oh, I'll try God of War. And I enjoyed the hell out of it, but then it got glutted with the open world problem. Like, well, here's a million side quests you can do. And I'm like, well, I don't have to do them, but if I don't do them, will I be in a strong enough position to continue the story? Because I'm really loving the story. And then I just kind of got lost. And I'm like, eh. Really pretty game. I really love the thematics, the character introduction. Like, it's a really good game. It's just it glutted me with things to do. Horizon Zero Dawn did the same fucking thing, and I'm like 40 hours into it, and I need to beat it, but like there's just too much to do. Days Gone, it hit a story beat that I don't really like, where now I'm having to work with people I would never have worked with, like morally, like I would never make that choice, and so I have to either eat crow to keep playing it because I love that game too, or I just don't keep playing it, which has been the thing. Dark Tide's what I'm excited for. I just hope that it's optimized enough that I can actually run the game when it releases. For Cyberpunk, it's not a complete game in terms of like bug fixes and stuff. Like it released worse than most Bethesda titles when it released, and it wasn't until about 1.5 that it was actually like maybe you could have released it. And then 1.6 is like, yeah, this is how it should have been when it released. And 1.6 is only a couple months ago, right? So that's part of my bit is like that pisses me off. I'm glad Cyberpunk Edge Runners like has renewed it, and that they were able to time it alongside 1.6, so all the people brought in from Edge Runners didn't hit the ugly face of Cyberpunk that it released as. Because CD Projekt Red I respect and really enjoy. I'm so glad that they run a DRM-free marketplace, that it's successful. I'm super glad that they have this dedication to preserving old PC games. I love the work that they've done on The Witcher. I think they've earned their place of crawling up from an independent studio to a AAA studio, and I'm so angry that they were forced into a position that they had to release a subpar project, and then have only been trying to catch up to what it should have been this whole time. So I'm not going to reward that until they actually release a quote-unquote finished game in my eyes. That's all. Oh, it was Dollar Coin's birthday last Friday. So I didn't stream it because I didn't feel up to it, but we played a bunch more Elden Ring, which is good. I got a little bit further. I think I'm at the door to Melania, which is kind of spooky. And then we played like 8 hours of Far Cry 5, which was a lot of fun. If we play that again, I'd like to stream it. But like games-wise, like that's what I've done recently. I would have put so many hours into Dark Tide had it run on my PC properly without crashing. Like, it ran fine. You can see the frames were like, I was getting 60 frames per second, and then it would crash. It was not my graphics card's drivers are not up to date to run it how it's programmed, I think is the issue. So I haven't been doing much gaming. I have not seen the animated series. Stop talking about dead games. That's all I play, man. Yeah, I didn't play it launch, so only have seen it after the current patch. It's not perfect, but solid, and added tie-ins to it. Exactly. Like, that was smart. It kept it alive, and it kind of gave it a new life. It was a very smart marketing, especially who they got for the animated series, for the animation and how it's been. I haven't seen it. I had to cancel all my streaming services when I was out of work, and I haven't gotten any back. I don't really miss them. If there's something I really want to see, there are other ways to see it. But that's one I would like to see. I have not beaten Elden Ring yet. I don't even think I don't know how close I am. Probably not that close. Honestly. Dollar's here. You can probably tell me how close. I saw that you played Final Fantasy 15 the other day, Dollar. Poorly written game, but you're enjoying the gameplay. Well, good. That's one I've actually kind of wanted to play for a very long time. Just because the gameplay looked fun and it looked very pretty. But like story-wise, yeah, the bro road trip is all I know about Final Fantasy 15. Edge Runners is A+. It's great. That's what I heard. I'm a Studio Trigger. Kill la Kill. Like, so I had seen images of Kill la Kill forever. I'm just like, oh god, it's one of those types of anime, huh? It's not really one of my go-to types. Basically just pure sex appeal, right? Like, that's all it's marketed as. High school girls. That's not my thing. Then I watched it. And I was like, oh shit! It actually has a deep philosophical reason for depicting these things as it does. And then I just tore through Kill la Kill, and I fucking loved it. The animation, how it presented itself, the character growth, just everything made sense and clicked. I was like, oh, this is why it's so fucking popular. It's not just some of the most scantily clad outfits ever put to film. No. There's an absolute reason for it. And it was crazy, and again the animation was just crazy. It was just stellar. They knew when to exaggerate things. They knew when to take it back. The action, the flow, everything. Studio Trigger is incredible, and so I would expect Edge Runners to be that as well. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad it's that good. And again, I'm glad it's helped reward CG Projekt Red for sticking to its guns on Cyberpunk, even after taking very many, very just blows on how they released that game. They deserved it. I just will not reward that until they finish the game. I just can't. I just can't. How they handled things doesn't deserve that reward yet, in my eyes. That's why I don't think it's popular because of Trigger. I think Trigger does exceedingly good work. So, yeah. They made another meme anime. I don't know. I've seen some fan art to it, but Kill la Kill, like, definitely was a meme anime, but I fucking love Kill la Kill. Like, that I was super surprised when I gave it a chance. I was like, oh, wow, this is the characterization of this is incredible, and why they are designed as they are designed is incredible for the storytelling. It's really well done. I thought it was just a sexploitation kind of anime, and yes, it's that, but they were able to justify it to a degree I didn't think was possible. So I had hoped Cyberpunk is good, but like it's not my. I'm not in a huge hurry to get Netflix again. Just period. The anime I was watching before that was Uncle from Another World, and sadly that production has seen so much shit. But I recommend Uncle from Another World. It's really fun, sweet, reverse isekai anime. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Can I get to work on the thing I was going to work on though? Like I'm happy to chat about these things that I know very little about, but I'm supposed to be working. Let me see. Which one was on? Was I just? I think I was just picking them, right? I need to do this one again. Kind of sucks. Let me see if I can. If it saved it as a project. I don't think this thing does that though, does it? No, it doesn't do it like that. Oh, so I have to start it again. I guess I'll start with the one I need to fix then. That's annoying. Okay. Oh, I love Kotaro Lives Alone. That was really good too. At least the first season, I guess, is the only thing they've released so far. Really good. The fact that it had a mangaka in it all of a sudden too, I was like, oh, that's neat. But then it just got better and better. Really sweet. I would recommend that as well too. Kotaro Lives Alone. Yeah, that was really sweet. Little, what was he, 4 or 5 years old? Highly intelligent. Emotionally, like, just trying to get through child emotions at the same time. It's just being so intelligent. Really well depicted. The only part that kept turning me off was the neighbor that is like, you can't quite tell if he's a pedophile or if he's just like got this really heartbroken relationship with his actual son. And so he's placing that on Kotaro. Like, they really walked a line where it's like, is it misplaced affection or is he just like a fucked up guy, the uncle in the cheetah suit, the mobster? That was the one part of that I was like, where are they going to take this? And they walked that line. They walked it. But I think that was the joke, is like he comes off as a pedophile, but he's actually just like placing the affection he can't give his son on Kotaro. But man, did they walk that line. Crumbling Lands. Oh, okay, that's where I'm at on Elden Ring. Okay. So Deathsworn is getting shipped. Fucking finally, I saw that too. Like, it's better than him ghosting. I was actually honestly worried like he got sick or something like really bad happened to him personally. But I'm glad that wasn't the case. However, the radio silence is kind of unforgivable. I'm going to be happy to get the book. I already have Deathsworn from the original release, and so getting the book again is significantly less exciting to me. The cover as well, like I like, but he really darkens his colors, and it's not my favorite palette. Also, the bust on the main vampire lady got super exaggerated, like to almost above Oda levels, which is a lot. Like, she jumped bigger than Nami did on that cover, and it's just like you're wham, big old fake titties. Basically, is what it feels like on the cover. So it distracts me too. Some people are gonna like that, but it takes away from it for me. But it's getting shipped. Well, no, it's not. It's at the printers. That's the thing. I'm gonna wait. Like, and he announced he's no longer taking the refunds. Well, I hope he gave out all the refunds that were asked, because I'm sure there were quite a few. I don't know. I would be. I've worked with the individual, and it was great working with him. But I would be remiss to say I want to back another project from him until I see like how this stuff comes through. And he definitely took the opportunity to prove he could do something, and did not prove it. Even if he ships, it's kind of rough. He took years. It shouldn't have taken years, especially if you're working by yourself. Like, I don't know. He might be keeping a lot of the troubles that he had to deal with otherwise to himself, which I totally respect. But again, as a backer, as a fellow creator, and as somebody who really appreciated his work when I started, he soured the shit out of it for me, and it sucks. It's heartbreaking if I'm honest. Yep. Oh, I guess I did answer. I didn't even finish your comment. I answered what you asked. So yeah, I don't like that. I hope it delivers well. I'm glad people are getting their books. The fact that he's like, well, if I didn't refund you, you're still getting your books at this point. And how many people did you not refund that had asked months ago, Carl? I don't know. Like, all of these factors that I don't know, that I can assume, like, oh, he did great if I want to, or I can assume he did really bad. And both being as accurate because he provided no fucking information. It's rough. It's rough. It's not a position he should have ever put anybody in. I don't know if he got in trouble. I know he stayed off of social media and everything. Like, I don't know why. And that bothers me. If I knew why, then I can judge the level of unprofessionalism to the level of humanity that he was dealing with, right? Like, I don't have that information, so all I can see is the obvious lack of professionalism. And it's tough. It's tough because, again, like that Four Horsemen piece I have from Carl from the original campaign, like, I fucking love it, and we had spoken about working on a series together. Like, it means a lot. Like, I think he is an extreme talent. But I've also seen, like, he spent all this time redoing work he's already done as well. That one kind of, like, it's not forward progression. It's retread. I don't know. There's a lot there. Like, I'm glad it's getting shipped. Let's just say that. I thought he had just ghosted. Might not get it for you. I'm not gonna back again. If he even kind of runs a campaign, like, I'm gonna have a rough time with it. He would really have to show a plan and a higher level of professionalism, and the only time he's going to get that chance is to run another campaign, and just from the start there, it's not going to work for me. Now, I've made plenty of mistakes myself. I have never delivered a campaign on time. But I think the latest we've been is 6 months. And I never stop communicating to the backers what's going on and why. They are owed far more than that for supporting something they don't even know they're going to get. Like, But yeah, above all, yeah, I would say especially for Western comics, right? Like that cover, the cleavage on that cover takes away from the vibe from it so much. Like it as cool as the layout is and everything for me, I just like blam. But like I'm not a sex appeal guy. Like I lean very heavily. Like I appreciate a pretty lady. I appreciate a handsome man. But it's not a marketing point for me. Like if I want any of that sexual content, it's infinitely available at my fingertips any moment of the day. Why do I want it from you? What I want is a cool sci-fi action book from you. And if that's part of it, great. But if it's front and center and stage and so blatant that you might as well be doing like a Frazetta painting instead, do a Frazetta painting, right? Like I don't know. I don't want to throw shade because I don't know why all of this stuff happened. But in terms of artistic-wise, like I like the original cover I have from the original releases of Deathsworn, which, yes, books 1 and 2 of Deathsworn have already been released years back. Years and years back now. It's like 4 years back now. Like, I want to see that forward progression, not a retread that's just like a remaster. I don't want to see a Lucas cut of Deathsworn. I wanted more Deathsworn. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. But yeah, that particularly the cover, it's a lot for me because basically the whole cover's this dark red, purple, blue kind of vibe, right? And then she is pale as shit. So you get these big, white, pale tits that just contrast the whole fucking page to me. It just contrasts terribly. So your eyes drawn right to them, and then you look at the size of her head compared to the size of her tits, and it's just blam! And I'm just like Jake Scott Campbell does his proportions a little bit cleaner when he does that kind of cover. Like it's usually classy and more alluring. She's not trying to look sexy on the cover of Deathsworn, but obviously it was important to him to have those blam right there. Like they take away from the logo even. Like it's just it's not balanced well in my opinion. It's not balanced well. There's probably a way to do it. But in fact, it would have felt better if her head was just a little bit bigger, like the proportions. But you know what? Fuck it. I've been sitting on this for years. I'm not doing the work I want to do, but there's people here and we've got a chat going, so I'm happy to do that. I'll show you what I mean, and it's probably not as bad as I'm making it sound, but to me, it strikes very hard. Oh, that's funny. They were Space Wolves in Warhammer 40k. That's funny to me, the Deathsworn. He also was an elf in 5th edition. Okay, so I actually need to look for Indiegogo then, huh? I know his campaign was suspended for not delivering as well. God, it's not even coming up. Why does House Pueblo show up? Like, I know that's where I'm at, but why are you looking? That's weird. Wow, I can't even find it. I guess I'll have to go through my email to the update then. That's annoying. Yep, there it is. Only 21 updates in 2 years. I usually have about 75 updates by the time I finish. Here we go. You'll see what I mean. And yes, it's probably less blatant than I'm making it sound. But yeah. And I've seen this cover before, but for me the balance of it is not great. It's a very cool layout. His art has improved. The size of her head's really tiny compared to that, and just wham! Right in your face. To be fair, his biceps would be as well. But again, it's the pale nature of this basic space vampire lady that, like, if I'm looking at it from a distant shelf, like I'm looking at it much smaller on this screen over here, this is what I see, even above the logo here. It's just it's too bright for how dark everything else is, and it's so dark as well from this distance when I'm looking at it. So if this was on a shelf, like, I can't make anything out except for the logo, which is good. I really like the logo, and her. That's all I can make out. But that's, you know, like, I like a lot of this stuff too. His signature there, book 1, his Silver Arm Comics logo, like, that's great. It's just this white here contrasting against basically all this very dark. Like, I would saturate this up 10%, and it would fix it. Like, just the reds being a little brighter, the blue being a little brighter, like, that would fix it. But for me, like, it's super, super contrasting. But I'm glad people are getting what they paid for. God damn it! Like, I'm very happy about that. But that part bugs me too. But oh, good, enjoy it. It's a fun game. I really love the soundtrack. I really do. But yeah, anyway, I'm glad. Like, I'm very happy. This is as bad as it got. If you're going to end it, in terms of, like, finish what this trouble is, delivering's how you do it, not just ghosting, right? Like, you have no future if you ghost. This at least he can start from somewhere else instead of starting from a position that's untenable, right? Like, I'm happy. I'm just, like, disappointed, just beyond disappointed, if I'm honest. But that is what it is. Not Comic Sans. What was the name of the? Oh, I'm gonna have to find that again. What was it called? Oh, that's not good. I have to find that. I have to find the name of the font again. People have been waiting for Coyote since Jack Book 1. Yeah, but did we run a successful crowdfunding campaign for Coyote? Did we take people's money for Coyote? Did we not update people for 2 years on Coyote? Which world are you living in? Dollar. I get you, but we've been updating consistently, one form or another. Like, we did not go radio silent on it ever. Whether or not, I mean, we've been doing animations. We've been doing quite a few things to keep the brand awareness live and to show that, you know, we care about this. Carl did not show that he even cared that his customers... Like, he didn't even show that he cared that he's failing his customers. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Because I really had a lot of faith in this individual. Oh, come on, I did use Blackadder before. It exists. It's just being annoying. Blackadder. There it is. Yeah, I saw Shoot Us Blood and Teeth. I would love to get that. I just don't have money. Literally now, since I've got the gig, I have to save every dollar to make sure that Jack 4 goes off without a hitch. So what we fund usually is about 2K less than I need. I'm always hopeful we'll make it back, but basically since the beginning, and Wicked covered those extra expenses at the beginning, that's what it's been. So, like, I saved for a while when I was working, and then I wasn't working, and so those savings got eaten. New glasses were needed because my old pair broke. Had to put my cat down. Tires at one point. Like, there's a lot of little things that like took the savings I had that I was like, okay, I can do this, and gone. So now I'm just back to saving to complete Jack, to make sure it can be. It's there. Everything can be paid for. The issue can be completed and shipped out digitally. It can be printed. The shipping rates next year, I have no idea what they're going to be. And the extra rates, as well as how I budgeted for the original pages. Like, all of those things are kind of up in the air. But yeah, it's bills. I don't know if I was unfollowed, but I did give one of the updates a little shit publicly, so we'll see. Not as much shit as I'm doing right here, because yeah, it aggravates me. But I did give it a little shit publicly, because I didn't think it was going to deliver. Yeah, I would play the shit out of Blood Shooter's Teeth. It's only like $18, but like I don't have it. I don't have it. Some birthday gifts for dollar coins was some of it, some of the extra I had, but like I can't do it all the time. Plus, I don't have time for gaming with all these other projects. Stay in demand for a while if possible. Yeah, I plan to stay in demand till production finishes on the digital, which hopefully is next month. But with how the IRS had restructured how payment processors and websites are working with taxes, I need to understand a few things more. So, like, I'm promoting the issue, but I'm also totally fine that I haven't gotten a backer in months. Like, I am totally fine with that. So we'll see. Man, I haven't spent a good amount of money on anything since One Piece earlier in the year. That was the big one that I'm like, okay, you're done. I bought a lot of manga at the beginning of the year when I was working. Like, a lot. Thinking, I'll be fun, I'm working. That's one thing, too. This job, I'm making less money. I'm not going to say significantly less, but close to significantly less. But also, I'm not going home in excruciating pain. So that's also been good. My old job, I was doing like 30-mile walks, which is good for my heart, good for like 30 miles of walks in about 3 days. About 10 miles a day for weeks, months actually. In about 6 months I was doing that because like employees were quitting, needed extra work, and certain things need to be done by a certain time, yada yada yada. And who else is gonna do that? Piss me off. But yeah, I had destroyed my knee and my right hip, like in terms of how the joints were going. Not good. That was another factor I stopped that job. But this gig I'm not doing that, which means I've gained some weight, which isn't my favorite. But I'm also not in like terrible pain all the time, so that's been good. So it is what it is. I'm just glad I've got a foot under me so I can feed my animals and myself and take care of these things and be able to pull off this magic trick again. And then we'll see what happens with 5. One Piece was great. I was very glad to catch up, at least on the printed volumes. I'll be caught up when they release, at least on English printed volumes in November when they release Volume 101. I'm excited for that because where I ended was very much a cliffhanger. excited for that. I also got all of Berserk earlier in the year. That wasn't that cheap. Excited for that. Also in November, volume 41 for that. Um, I got all Inuyasha, and that one was hard to collect. There's particularly 3 volumes that are all of it's out of print in the Viz Big edition, which is really a nice edition. Um, but there's 3 of the Viz Big collection omnibuses that are just insanely expensive. I was able to score one for a third of the price, and then I had to buy the individual volumes to save about a third of the price of getting the Viz Big. Um, yeah, I bought a lot of manga at the beginning of the year, which all of it I have now enjoyed, except for I haven't been able to finish Akira. Akira isn't broken into chapters, so it makes me really hard to like, oh, I'll just read a chapter or two. No, it's just like I'll read until there's a breath, any sort of breath in the story, and it's very hard to find, and so it's not that comfortable to jump into. Really good, very beautiful. Pisses me off that it's the Dark Horse edition I have. That the pages are flipped. I know some of the panels he actually redid for Dark Horse, but you can still feel that like the pages are flipped. So it I don't know. It messes with the rhythm for me as well. But it's Akira. I really want to get through it. Go 13. It got really cheap. The ones that aren't out of print again, or they're all out of print, but the ones that aren't rare had low print runs. Those are still too expensive, so I'm not getting a hold of those. But Go 13 was amazing. Um, I've been collecting Fist of the North Star as it comes out, but that wasn't a big investment. Been collecting Shaman King as it comes out, and collectively it's big, but how it's been releasing, it's that's been fine. Um, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so that was kind of a bitch. Kind of a bitch. I've been selling some stuff though too, so it's been helpful. Signed eHarmony. We're gonna get you a rich. I've been on Bumble for like the last 4 months. 2 bites and no like so the original introduction bit, and then I would say hi and then done. So I've been very disheartened on that level for a while, dollar coins. But I did put myself back out there, and I've consistently been back out there for about 4 months or so. Couple cute girls at work too, but with my luck, man, anybody I have a hint of liking beyond just like attractive, but also like how they carry themselves and how I feel around them, all that fun stuff. Like they're involved. They're already with somebody else, and the one relationship I've had that was good, it lasts about 4 years. Like somebody stole her from me, which is probably for the best, honestly. But nonetheless, like I don't want to be that guy. That's assuming I would even have the skill to be that guy. So like I'm super disheartened in moving forward on any of those angles. But I've kept it open, and with redecorating the house and cleaning things up and making things feel better, like I feel like I have a lot to offer for the first time in a while. So I'm trying, dollar. I'm trying. I wouldn't try eHarmony like that. No. I tried Tinder, God, years back, and fucking no, thank you. That's not where I want to be. So I've been on Bumble, and it's fine. But again, it's out of hundreds and hundreds of ladies at this point, like every day, looking through, 10 to 15, they'll serve you up. Um, Especially in my area, right? Very small, uh, geographically in numbers of people. It's not a lot of people. Um, no bites. But again, I'm also not the greatest picture taker, so the pictures up there might not be the best. I don't think they're bad, but they might not be the best. Um, the fact of my education level isn't that great. I don't advertise any of the financial things that are good about me, like owning my own home or anything like that, because I don't want that kind of person. There's a lot of things like just like I'm keeping the energy out there, and hopefully something comes my way that will work. As long as I keep that energy flowing, brother. I don't know why it said howdy to you, but I'm up with that. There are genuine people on there. Just gotta vet them on what their goals are. Yeah, exactly. Like I might step back into that arena, but around here it was a lot of. It was definitely a lot of for hookups, which is not something I'm interested in. Again, like the whole. I'm not asexual, but man, do I lean close to it in a lot of cases because it's what I want out of that level is not what society wants out of that level whatsoever, and it just bothers the hell out of me. And so it's hard for me to go through a lot of that stuff because I'm just like, no, no. So, but I get you. Yeah, but they usually want that with a super attractive man who's fit and active and has a high-paying job and a great car, all this other, like, again, society putting unrealistic expectations to make sure that we stay divided. Super fun. But yeah. Okay, I didn't know there was a term, but it makes sense since there's a box for everything. Yeah, and that's what that is. That's probably what I am. Though I haven't heard the term, and I don't need to be put in a box. But not that I'm aware of, dollar coins. I was told it maybe 5 times by my ex in 4 years. And the only time that really stuck with me is after she was my ex, and she's like, well, you were more attractive than him, but... And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. And as far as I'm aware, like, I've never heard that from like, near anybody. Like, I wear charms. Those get compliments. But me, myself, no. There's a box for everything. Exactly, Immortal Death Con. I was like, okay, I get you. Everybody needs a box that, God forbid you don't understand something and need to be next to it. God forbid you can't just place it in a rigid, but... man. I'm aggressive today. I even started the original stream before this one, like, actually got quality working in it. It started off bad. I'm angry. No, I'm frustrated today, I guess it would be. A lot of these topics. You just need a good wingman. Yeah, I've never had a wingman. I've spent 95% of my life completely, like, alone. So, that's not been a thing. I never was interested in going out. Completely socially inept. Like, in many facets, and like, my comprehension of social interactions is completely guesswork instead of like, okay, I know how that trend goes, which I assume is there. Like, I assume people can understand how certain people act and then can make a educated guess upon it. For me, it's like I don't understand it, but I still have to make a guess in a lot of interactions. Dollar, you've dealt with that many times where, like, a joke comes through and I'm just like, wham, that's real, I have to deal with it, let's blah, 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 and terrible at it. Or, like, in introductions, anywhere with text, I could come up. I think that's what's happened with the few, like, bites I've had on Bumble, is that I just came, like, not natural, I guess, or something, like, not what they expect. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. I thought it was honest and straightforward and not even overbearing, but I don't know. I don't know. Gain 2% muscle mass. Just need a lasso and ride horses and you're good. Yeah, right. I'm sure a lot of people, they're social and emotional intelligent. I think I'm very emotionally intelligent. I'm terribly socially intelligent. So, like, I can understand and empathize with the thing. But then dealing with it, the only way I know how is very honest and blunt, and a lot of people, that don't work. That's charming. I appreciate that, fellas. I'm going to Tahiti. I'm not, though. Which is weird. Okay, so there was one of these weird crossword things that's like, this is how the end of your year is going to be or whatever. The first 3 words you see, it's like crossword, right? So you just look through and you see all of them. It was friend, marriage, beach. It's like, what? When am I going to get to a beach? I've been to a beach once in my life. When I was 14. Up in Inverness, California. Fucking gorgeous, nice and quiet beach, white sands, a little bit, so it's Northern California, so a little less big and crowded was part of it, but also like a little colder, a little bit more Pacific North, right? It's really nice. I miss the ocean. It was really nice to see it once. But yeah, it's been 30 now, Cody. Yeah, it's been about 16 years. But yeah, those are the 3 things. I was like, marriage, there's no way. There's only 2 months left. I'm not, I'm crazy, but I'm not that kind of crazy. I'm not that guy. I can't know somebody for 2 months and dedicate forever to them. That's no. But beach would be funny. Lita would love the beach. But friend would be nice. I need a few more friends. Like direct day-to-day friends that actually pull me out of my shell. I have some very good friends, family level friends, and I'm gonna be able to see them on Halloween and a few other. Like, it's gonna be nice, but like I don't have that social kind of level where people want to see and be around you all the time. Like, I'm sure I'm sure I could put more effort to it myself. Again, it's that social ineptitude. But I like solitude. I like myself and my animals, like, a lot. So it's even when I'm super lonely, and I recognize it quite often. Like, I don't even want to reach out. Like, it's just like, it's okay. It'll pass. So yeah, it's who knows? I'm trying to keep doors open. I know for certain that nothing will change if I put effort into making sure nothing changes. So you put effort to putting something to change, maybe a door opens, maybe something moves forward. That would be swell. You're gonna be Green Lantern? Last year it was the first time I was a real fuddy-duddy, and I just went to it as me. I didn't want to dress up. If my old Star Trek shirt fits me, I might do that. Like, I'm not gonna buy a costume, and I'm not very creative on costumes. Did a really cool Mad Max costume back in the day. Had the whole leg brace and everything I made. Very fun. But that I don't think I fit in that gear anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I might be a fuddy-duddy again. I don't know. Dogman meets local Catwoman. Again, there's one individual I already like quite a bit over at the work, but I don't know if she's available. And again, every time I've tried, they've been involved, and I'm not somebody who wants to change that situation. Multiple reasons, but mainly because, like, it's been done to me, and it's awful. I don't want to do that to anybody else. So, and honestly, if you do that, it means you learn nothing from that pain. No. So I'm hoping things will line up. I'm hoping, like, I think a good woman would change my life for the better significantly. But you never know. It could change it significantly for the worse. I would be very easy to take advantage of. So I don't know. You're Luke Cage. Oh, that's neat. Just married Catwoman. Jesus Christ. Didn't he get left at the altar this last time? Thanks to Tom. I forgot his last name. Didn't he get left at the altar? I can't follow modern comics. I don't think I could have. To be fair, I don't think I could have followed modern comics when it was the 90s, right? I just think comics, Western comics, as a medium, are as close to incomprehensible as possible in terms of, like, where do you start, what do you do, how do you get on board. So I haven't followed modern comics. The only time I followed modern, I think it was years past that event finishing with Civil War. Like, I read all of Civil War digitally, as I've read a lot of manga at this point. But I read all of Civil War, all the tie-ins, everything. Fucking loved it. Um, and then I read a good chunk of Dark Reign. Didn't finish Dark Reign. I think that's what Secret Invasion, that was it. I read all Civil War, all of Secret Invasion, and then good chunks of Dark Reign. That was the closest I was, like, in comics around the time they were happening. But since then, nope. Manga's been the same for me. It's been back issues. And now I'm current. Now I can read One Piece currently. I can read Berserk currently. I can read, I think those Battle Angel Alita, but I got to read that from the beginning. It's been so long since I read Battle Angel Alita. I've got to read it from the beginning and catch up to Volume 8 of Mars Chronicle, which released beginning of this year, and it takes him a year or year and a half to release a volume now for Mars Chronicle. And Mars Chronicle's okay. I think it's building to something, and I hope Volume 8 is, like, it's starting to get good. But I don't know, and I don't remember. I tried to read Volume 8, like I had, to see if it could jump me back into it, and I remember everything, and I didn't remember any of the characters for shit. I didn't remember what was going on, so I'm just like, I gotta start it again. And if I'm starting Angel Alita again, I want to do a comprehensive breakdown on the channel, maybe not per chapter, but at least per volume, because it is extraordinary in how it communicates the discussion and the philosophical implications of transhumanism, and the soul, basically. That's all Battle Angel Alita is talking about the whole time. It does it through gore and action and martial arts and romance and death and birth, and it handles it in all these different angles. And its main thesis still, as far as I'm aware, is how many planks on the boat can you replace before it's a new boat? Or is it ever a new boat? Like, that's basically what it's talking about. So how many parts? So that's Alita, right? Like, Mars Chronicles dealing with her as a person when she was a kid, before she learns the Panzerkunst, her fighting style, and before she is found in the graveyard by the good doctor, right? Or found in the junkyard by the good doctor. And so that's the angle he's tackling now. But before, it was mostly like, does it even matter who I was? Or am I still that person? And that's basically the whole thorough line between Battle Angel Alita, the original run, which ends so fucking bravely, and then Last Order, which starts it again in a way that's kind of a cop-out, and then it goes pretty good, and then it hits the lowest point in the series I've ever felt, where it's dealing with vampires all of a sudden, which is another angle of transhumanism, which is crazy. I didn't think he was doing that. But then he does it. And then after that, and he ties it all back together, it's really good. And then Mars Chronicle starts, and you're like, okay, well, this is a prequel, so where's it going to go? And that's still kind of where it's at Volume 7, if I remember correct, is we're kind of still figuring out where it's going to go, because she's only like 6 or 7 years old in Mars Chronicle. Oh yeah, I gotta go pick that up, don't I? But yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. I totally recommend it. It's just another, like, big endeavor. Very adult, very gory. The movie's good. If you liked the movie, you will adore the manga if you're a reader, right? Like, if you're a comic manga fan and you liked Alita Battle Angel, the movie, and had no idea about it, like, it's really good. It doesn't spoil much, the movie. Like, it hits notes. It hits about 3 arcs worth of notes, and does them justice. But, like, it loses a ton of depth, as most, like, adaptations from written word to screen do. But the entire franchise, even the old anime, I forgot what they call those, but the shorts that they did way back in late 80s, early 90s, totally worth your time. Battle Angel Alita is my favorite cyberpunk franchise ever. Like, nothing comes close. That's the other reason why I'm like not super stoked to dive into cyberpunk, because I was like, the standard it holds up to, like, how you deal with cyberpunk and the ideas of transhumanism that I have already with Battle Angel Alita. It's a hell of a bar to have to live up to. Like, there's a lot of fun cyberpunk films. Matrix, I love the Matrix trilogy, and Animatrix in particular. I like Johnny Mnemonic is fun. But still, Battle Angel Alita I really like. I think the most. It's the standard. I hope Edge Runners is as can live up to that standard. That'd be great. But a lot of cyberpunk is from a perspective I don't like, where Battle Angel Alita focuses on everything that comes with the cyberpunk genre with an open heart. Appleseed. The Appleseed movies as well. I fucking love the Appleseed movies. Those were like one of my first real dives into cyberpunk as a genre. They're really good. They don't dive into it as much, but the same ideas. Anytime you're tackling cyberpunk, you need to kind of tackle that idea of how many pieces until you're not you anymore. It's really important. And Battle Angel Alita explores it from every angle that he could conceive of. The body, the soul, the mind, the world itself, the government. It is a masterpiece of a thought on this idea. And as we move closer and closer towards human and machine integration, which they are steamrolling ahead towards, I think it will become a more and more important work, if not a more and more popular work. I think it'll become more and more important to understand and have enjoyed the thoughts presented in it. And that's why I want to do an honor when I read it again. Okay. Be a mummy, use toilet paper. That's true. Or I could do the ghost, the sheet ghost, right? We both working for a better future, yes. You got to look up the pool list for each big event. That's how you read them. Okay, that makes sense. Another event I read, I don't think I was current on it because I read the trade paperbacks through my buddy, folks know Laguna Muta, the musician. Big Green Lantern and Silver Surfer fan, but Green Lantern in particular, he got me to read Blackest Night. Fucking love Blackest Night. That was a lot of fun. Okay, but maybe if you stop brooding and seeking solitude, saving animals in New Mexico, he can find love. Yeah, right. Read all big events from the 80s to the 2010s, around 5,000 comics, all properly in order and with the tie-ins. It's great. Secret Invasion was stupid, but it led to fun stuff like Moonstone, Masqueradians, Miss Marvel, Daredevil, Hawkeye, etc. Yeah, it was pretty dumb. Secret Invasion pretty dumb. I agree. I don't know, I liked it, but it was pretty dumb. You can see how after a year or two you drop comics altogether. Yeah, Bullseye's Hawkeye was fun. Doc and his Wolverine wasn't that big of a jump. I didn't think that was great. The Dark Avengers concept, right? Norman Osborn as Iron Patriot. So he's both Captain America and Iron Man. Oh my god. Thunderbolts, right? It wasn't that big of a deal to me. And the fact that they give him the entire credit for stopping the Skrull invasion, Norman Osborn, because he shot her. And that's all he did. All the other superheroes that actually rooted out the shit and solved the problem and got the original folks home. No. It's all Norman Osborn. It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. You need more coffee, so do I. Well, I need warm coffee more than warm. Ship of Theseus is always the ship of Theseus as long as Theseus owns it. Duh. That's exactly that. That's cyberpunk, in my opinion. It's Ship of Theseus, exactly. It's that parable. That's spit how many planks, right? That's the old metaphor, the original philosophical concept. But Battle Angel Alita is that. That's all it is. And he just does it with such style and flair and honesty and emotional intelligence and just it's a masterwork on that philosophical thought. Deserves more credit than it gets, and I'm glad James Cameron and Mr. Rodriguez were able to put something into the mainstream so that I became aware of it. It deserves more, and I'm really surprised there hasn't been talks of a sequel, but I guess Mr. Cameron's just too wrapped up in getting Avatar 2 out, which is Dances with Wolves didn't need a sequel, The Last Samurai didn't need a sequel. but sure, let's do a sequel to the worst version of that story that's come out. Yeah, okay, Mr. Cameron. Bro, let's go watch Edge Runners right now. You could use a good cry again. Ha! If I read the Thunderbolts tie-ins, Norman Osborn was milking every victory. He had a camera crew following him around. He goes, I did not read all the tie-ins to Secret Invasion, so that makes sense. He gives one interview during the invasion. Yeah, I just saw the end. Like, I have the 8-issue mini or whatever up there on my shelf for Secret Invasion. Oh, Siege as well. It took me forever to get to Siege, but I love that. I love the J. Michael Straczynski Thor run, the 3 volumes he did with that wonderful artist, Copiel, Oliver Coipel. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But I love that Thor run. That got me to love Thor. And it was a great introductory to Thor as a reboot. It was a great reboot of Thor to me. I wasn't a Thor fan. I didn't read a bunch of Thor before, so that's why I think it's a good reboot. But Straczynski handled it so well. Thor coming back after Civil War and being like, what the fuck happened here? I think it was great. And having Asgard over Oklahoma, dumb, but really cool. I kind of wish some more of those beats from Straczynski actually made it into the MCU Thor, because they hit some of the ideas. They hit the Ragnarok thing that ended it. They hit there being in Love and Thunder. They hit there being a new Asgard, right? There being a new Asgard, but it wasn't Asgard literally rebuilt by Thor's power above there. The gods being found and reborn. There was a lot of the epicness. Since Ragnarok, right? A lot of the epicness of Thor has been toned down and just injected with stupid comedy and slapstick, which great for the kids, I guess, are loving it, and a lot of normal folks are loving it for how funny it is. But to me, it's just this is a god. This is a function of worship and of power of nature. It's a thought form with great energy behind it, and you literally turned it into a joke. When Thor has been handled with much more respect, basically his entire comics history. Even Jane Foster Thor, I think, was handled with more respect than the MCU movies. But it is what it is. Where he says Stark Tech was compromised, but Osborn Tech is still safe. Yeah, kept the scrolls from complete destruction. Okay, kept scrolls from completely destroying the humans. Osborn Tech saved Earth. Okay, see, I didn't even remember that through Secret Invasion. I just remember him shooting the lady and then yeah, I'm taking all the credit. That makes sense. I'm glad it made more sense if you read the tie-ins, because that bugged me. It just felt like Norman was just here's all this work done. I'm taking credit for it, when it was literally 50 fucking superheroes that actually did something. But okay. Don't forget Norman banging Gwen, because we all needed that mental image. Oh, really? That's a thing? I thought Gwen was dead. I don't know any of these things. I like Spider-Man. I've never been a Spider-Man fan. The only Spider-Man I've really read are either through those crossovers, right, or those events, or Kraven's Last Hunt. I'm sure I'm missing a ton of awesome runs, but Kraven's Last Hunt's really good, and it's actually a Kraven story. Spider-Man's dead through most of it. So yeah, but I had no idea that that's a thing, but I'm not surprised that's a thing. There's a lot of they either do it for shock value, right, or fetish reasons, right? There's a lot of writers who are making a lot of money to write approach writing very differently depending on who they are, of course, but definitely tend to approach it a lot differently than hungry indie creators. Let's just say that. Let's just say that, especially when they're working with icons that doing something offbeat, let's just say, makes a larger impact than making a new story with those same notes. I guess I'm not going to get any work done today. Keep looking at the same page. It's I just need to type something and letter it. And all I've done is at least find the font I was looking for. Oh shit. Oh shit, we got that full page spread in. It's not really much of a spoiler. Let's see what it looks like. You got it. Got the full page spread in though, folks. Live. This is just in. Well, in about an hour ago, because I didn't check my email. Or Twitter, which is where I just heard that this is in. Let's see. Download it. Oh, cool. It's just that it's not an archive. That makes things easier. Shouldn't be spoilers. So, a lot of this issue, Maxie took a almost completely opposite direction in the artistic communication level, the style that I had put in the script. So I've been able to like adjust to it, and it still tells the same story. But this is an example of it. Huh. Yeah, it's not a spoiler. I'm going to show you folks. I'm just going to sit with it for a second. Both to build up tension on the street, but also to sit with it. Because it communicates very similar ideas to what I wanted to. It's just stylistically the exact opposite. Basically, what I wanted to communicate as we got further and further into famine territory is things get more polished and clean and cold. Sterile, right? He went the opposite, where it's now more like podged together and built from junk, which does communicate very similar ideas in terms of like communicates less control, but it communicates control over chaos, right? Like attempting to control chaos, which is supposed to communicate. Again, it still communicates society, right? That's all I needed to do, so it works. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. That's a good note to show off of that dollar coins. So in my script, this was supposed to be polished, clean, and flat, and just like this. Yeah, even the ground that Jack was walking on was supposed to be clean, flat, pressed, like just cold, sterile stuff. Instead, he's just like, oh, they slammed this together into something functioning. I'm like, you know what? That kind of works too. Which is why I like this collaboration, because it tends to take a different direction than what I thought. And this is spoilers. This is the one time that's shown up and it actually worked. I don't know where it heard the word spoilers, but yeah, this is spoilers. Jack comes up to a pyramid of junk. Maxie also has a looser art style this issue. It's a little bit rougher, which I've been appreciating. It actually works very well with the rest of the issue. But yeah, this is just it. Looks good. We are now 22 pages into Jack Iron Steel Cowboy, which is over 2/3 done. So in terms of line art, and we should. I've paid for 10 pages of the coloring, and the coloring should be starting this week, hopefully, and we should be caught up, hopefully by the end of next month. But this is neat. This came out good. Got to, after I finish streaming stuff, I got to pay Maxie for this page. He doesn't like taking payments until he delivers pages, and he knows I've been consistently good at making sure that like his work is rewarded. There's never been a chance where like he's done work and he hasn't been paid for it. Basically right after. So that's how he wants to work. He doesn't like. Many times it's like, if you need an advance, you take an advance. I trust you. And he's like, hey, I don't really want to do that. So I'm just like, okay, we'll leave the trust on your end then, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I like it. I'm not going to show the other pages that come after, because there are massive spoilers, particularly on a specific character design. I don't want to spoil. I want that to be seen in the issue as people read it. But this is neat. I like it. I do. I think it's well done. The main point was getting this at the top. Like, we needed the pyramid to be, it needed to be the all-seeing eye. It just, like, there's plenty of, I wanted corporate occultism, because that's a thing, to be communicated in this issue, and that was the main bit, is that we have the all-seeing eye bit of money, right? That's on the back of quite a few bits on here. So he got that. It's kind of cobbled together and functioning. I like that. It's well done. I'm stoked. Alright, let me move that to where it's supposed to be before I forget to do that. Then it gets lost, which that's nonetheless. Leave Aztec out of this. I don't want to get my heart ripped out and sacrificed. I don't know. You do take part in society these days, right? It's going on whether you want it to or not. From cradle to grave, they have some sort of grip on your heart. Boom. All right, pages 1 through 22 are done. Excellent. Jack has a Karen moment. It's not going to be timely or nothing, and I'm not going to call back to it, but people know what it is. I think it's good. Let's see. In the context, I think it's great, but we'll have to see if folks agree. Alright, so that's an eye. He can wait. I don't want to do that on stream just in case I provide some sort of doxing one way or the other. Cool. Actually, no, I don't want to spoil this whole book. So I don't know if I'll preview that anywhere else. Still staring at this image I'm supposed to put text on. Like, my goal for this was to do a good chunk of this work. And I only have to redo this page because I didn't spell check on one. Well, I didn't edit. There's no spell check in this. I didn't like do a proofread well enough where my brain filled in the one letter it's missing, which is annoying because I already did this image for the Halloween project. That's what I'm talking about. How many days do I have left? 6 days. I need to generate probably about 6 more images, 6 more poems, and then I need to, I think, do 25 more lettering, and then I need to make the cover. It's doable in 6 days. I'd rather do it in 5 though. Go to work. So I either have to do that today or tomorrow. It wouldn't take more than, I don't know, 5 hours of work, so it's doable. I don't know. It's not a bubble. Luckily, they're not bubbles. Fine. Not many people watch this anymore. And half the people watching it already know what this Halloween project is. But basically, I just wanted to make something unsettling for Halloween. Now, I wanted to show a small bit of the potential for a tool that is very disliked. And I wanted to show that this is how you should handle that tool, because right now, how people are trying to handle this tool, trying to make comics out of it, like it's terrible. Like you can't do that right now because it can't be used for storytelling. It can only be used for nonsense in terms of like very loose collected like ideas and themes. You can't have the same character progress through a scene. It doesn't work. It's not how this tool works. So yeah. Let me get the oh, what the, yeah. Okay, I'll have to talk to him as well later. What can I do here? I need this. I need the script out. Do I have the script? I do have the script out. Perfect. Okay, this is workable. I can do something. Holy shit. Okay, that'll work. All right, let me do this, and then I'll show you kind of the preview of it, because again, it's not going to spoil it for the potential of people it can reach, much greater than the amount of folks here currently. I need to find the right color. There it is. Now I'll show you the one I already did, which is annoying. Wish I would have caught it, because yeah, I've only done like 6 of them so far. And there's 31 to do, because I wanted to do one for each day. That way next year I can just re-release it. What was the misspell? See, now I'm not even seeing the misspelling. Oh, it's not even a misspelling. It's that I didn't capitalize one letter. Oh, no. That's even worse. Okay. Fine, I'll do it again. It isn't even a misspell. There. It's capitalized now. That is really annoying. At least I don't have to redo the... Well, I do have to redo the letter, the layouts, but I don't have to like start from scratch and figure out how I want to do them. I've got the piece already done. Does it get any more orange? Yes. Okay. It needs to be a little bigger. And again, this is just supposed to be something stupid for Halloween. God, that is annoying. That it was just one capital letter. That's why I didn't get back to this. My impatient self. Alright, 2 more. Then I'll show you what this is. It's again, it's nothing mind-blowing. It's what I can easily do myself. I guess I'll provide you folks a full preview of it, because why not? At this point, it'll still be a surprise for who it's supposed to be a surprise for, which is everybody else. See, that took no time, Cody. It's a little bit bigger, come on. I think the old layout. Does that still work? Does that work? Oh, this needs to be straight for that to work. Oh. Weird. So I had this much smaller. Okay. Fine. File. Save as. Over here. Need save over. Oh, I don't want to save over. I guess I'll do. I'll save it as a TIFF. Okay. Let me read here. I probably have some stuff to catch up on. Oh yes, I do. The Aztecs hated their shamans. There's a reason why the empire folded overnight. Joined Cortez. They hated sacrifice, which they... Yep. Just like the Egyptians, they didn't like their priests. It's just too much. Egyptians were a little bit better, but it's the same kind of idea. That's why the Romans were able to get such a big foothold in their culture. Basically to the point where they were just like, oh, this is the same God. It's kind of, but not really. Go letter 1 text bubble right now. Kind of. That's what I did. Did you ever show the awesome logo Stable Diffusion spit out when you got it to spit out still images like screen caps? No, I don't think so. I don't think I saw that, Lizbar. Also, is the Anwar's pushing 40 chat? Man, I barely have my outline. I barely have the structure in which I want to complete. It's not even the outline. The structure in which I want to complete issue 5. I barely have the themes and the structure like nailed for issue 5. 40 chapters on the Anu arc, let alone everything else you did. Crazy bastard, Dollar. Super inspiring, but like I don't think I'll ever keep up. But yeah, what I'm doing is combining poetry, and not great poetry, focusing more on rhythm than rhyme, alongside AI art to create unsettling, basically just an unsettling experience. That's all I wanted. Like, it's not going to be creepy. It's not going to be like scary or whatever, but unsettling. That's all I want. Like, that's what I'm going for. Just unsettling, right? Let's give you an idea. Just unsettling. That's all I want. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Stable Diffusion gave me dozens of screenshots from an anime TV show that never existed. That's part of the... So the other reason why I think the use I'm doing for it works right now for at least AI art production is because it is harnessing chaos. Instead of trying to force chaos into order, like I've seen I think 3 comics now that are done with AI art. They're all doing what I'm doing, but in a comic format, which means the pacing sucks, the layouts suck, the lettering sucks. Like all of those things aren't at a level that you can do that with AI art, and most people who are doing it are not comic creators, so they can't even get like the lettering good. My goal, again, is to everything cheap, dirty, and just to present an unsettling experience, which should be doable. Oh, look at that! Huh! Totally. You can get some really killer images if you work at it too. That's the thing, and I feel like a lot of people who are trying to do sequential storytelling with this as a tool are arrogant, for one. But for 2, it's not. They're using a square peg in a round hole, and the square peg's too big, right? Like, they're not even getting a smaller square peg to fit through that round hole, which is what I'm doing for the storytelling bit. Like, I'm just trying to present something unsettling. Like, even the title of this project, which I don't want to spoil, will set the idea of how you should approach into it. And if you go into that as this idea, and then you work through each bits of it, you'll get the unsettling feeling, you'll get the unsettling images, and I did something for Halloween. But yeah, let me show that, Elias Bar, so other folks know what we're talking about. But yes. So what I'm doing is one of the uses of AI art I kind of like, and then there's another project I'm working with another individual on. You've perhaps already seen the first manifestation of that project that I posted, where we use this as a tool, and simply a tool. So it's something we use to build upon and build with, not the end all be all. Exactly, dollar coins, and that's what I'll show folks that too. But yes, Mr. David Schmeling and I are working on a few different things, but the first piece of it has been shown. Let me see if I can find it again. Here it is. This is the first like manifestation of it. So what he's been doing with AI art, and why he likes it so much, is it turns 15 hours of work into 4. And so with that, he's also been able to lower his rates substantially for certain things. This is one of them. Basically he did, it's a you call it a penimento, or you call it there's another word for it, a pastiche. But that's one of the few uses of AI art I can see being useful, and not, at worst, necromancy. Yeah. We've done things, and expect a bit more of stuff like this in the future from IronVerse Comics and Mr. David Schmeling and myself. There's one piece already in the works that I'm not going to show because I want it to be a surprise. But this was the first piece. He wanted to try it out, and I like how it came out. He did the sword himself, right? He did the hat. He got Jack's face himself. He fixed the hands. He painted over that. You can see where he painted over, because it's a little bit cleaner, right? Basically what he's using AI, the revolver he did himself, what he's using AI art for is layouts and for character design and inspiration and just a few shortcuts, which with AI art improving constantly, as an artist you should be aware of it as a tool and not just a threat, because if you take it as just a threat and you rage against it, it's not going to stop it from becoming prevalent. NFTs, different story, because it is solely focused to be a money funnel. AI art is a different beast, and it is a beast, and it's one I think you have to artists as a collective are going to have to find terms with which to survive alongside it, or they will be crushed by it. Corporate art, as this improves, will be replaced by it. It is a lot cheaper to pay a subscription to, say, Midjourney or somebody else and then pay an artist to do what we're doing right here than it is to commission a full-on painting from many professional artists like this. I also see it as a tool for concept work, where you can generate an idea or a scene and use that for instance, during the comic scripting process as reference material for the artist, to further communicate the ideas you really wish to convey during your storytelling. But you still need an artist to actually make it comprehensible and to communicate, right? AI is it's a machine. It's zeros and ones pushing, right? It's pushing and pulling. So it's there's no like heart to it. But it's true, there needs to be a hang in there. But I would like something like that. Let's put a cowboy hat on the cat, right? Cowboy hat and a cigarette hanging from the poster and steel armor. It'd be adorable. Be adorable. We have a steel meow cowboy done by the wonderful Mrs. H. Maybe I can get her to draw one hanging in their poster. Cause yeah, that's very much our vibe over here at IronVerse. Dollar coins hang in there. But yeah, so we're trying to stay ahead of the curve a little bit. And what I'm still trying to figure out, and recently the Supreme Court said you can't copyright a AI generated image. The European courts are similar, but they classify something like this as a pastiche, and you can copyright and sell it. So I'm still waiting for the US courts to shake out something similar. But if they do, then we will be selling these as prints, and we will be producing them relatively frequently. As long as they're good enough and we think they could be a poster for somebody, right? Or an alternate cover or what have you. But I see AI art as a threat unless it's used as a tool. Which is very much, my stance on a lot of controversial things. gun ownership, the same thing. It's like it's either you just have it against you or you have it as well. Like there's not much of an in between. Uh, because the only way to enforce not having it is to give the power to somebody else, and it's just like no. Self-liberation has been my goal through the entirety of my existence. So yeah, it's moving forward. It's a little, it's still got some awkward AI bits to it, but it's a good piece. It's a pretty piece. It's a well done piece. So I think this stuff is doable. This effort that I'm making for Halloween, I think it's a good take on it because it utilizes all of its bits instead of trying to jam it into sequential art. I'm still doing sequential art, but the goal isn't to have good page layouts and all that, because that, again, all the page layouts I've seen, because these AI only generate square images, and most of the people who are making comics out of AI generated art don't understand layouts and don't even try to cut the pieces so it's a more exciting, flowing layout. They just put them square and they stack them, and boom, I have a comic with the most boring, soulless layouts possible that just ruin the pacing. No understanding of gutters. It's ugh. So I wanted to show, like, you can do something much simpler and still do something cool. That's my hope with it. I don't think it'll change anybody's mind who hates AI art. Like, I don't think that at all. But I did, before leaning into this stuff, I tested the waters heavily. There was, a month there where I would post 5 to 10 AI generated images a day, just to see if, like, any of my followers left, if anybody got angry that I'm using the tool, how much interest there was. And it was basically what I would think, where it's like, it's a cool image, people liked it. And that's as bad as, that's basically where it was. Nothing went viral because it's an AI image, it's still very soulless. But it also did get massive backlash, which would be the only thing that would change my mind on using this as a tool, is if it got anything similar to the backlash NFTs did. And nope. It's just people are either apathetic, passionately angry, but relatively quiet about it, or they like cool pictures. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working with, and that's the Halloween project, is a combination of poetry and images, so that I'm trying to work in vagueness, in a little bit of chaos too, right? But no, vague is the closest word to what I'm thinking, but it's not the word. Trying to use it to commit broad, not commit, to communicate, that's the word, to communicate very broad thematics, basically as poetry has done, right? Like, poetry it can be very fluffy and pretty, and it uses rhythm and rhyme, which communicates the ideas in, again, a more vague way than specifics and prose and actual storytelling, which AI art is doing the same thing, because it's trying to take words and ideas and shove them into a image. So I think it's a perfect pairing. It just needs to be handled right. But we'll see. I'm gonna need to cram on this project at some point to get it really done, because we got one done in the last hour and a half, and it only takes a couple minutes to finish it, to finish a piece. But yeah, that's the idea. Just to communicate. It's basically just supposed to be unsettling. That's all I want. Is give you a little bit of a creep on Halloween. That's all I wanted to do, because, again, I think it's the best thing. I would try it for Christmas, but I think it'll be, like, too creepy. And try it for Valentine's Day, and, like, you could maybe get some really pretty images, but you're not gonna get, like, super romantic, beautiful, like images out of it. It's not capable of those things. Creepy, unsettling, unearthly. That idea of the Lovecraftian incomprehensible. There's a word for that, a more specific word for what he tries to do, what Lovecraft really tried to communicate, which is, the shadow of the mind, that which exists but we cannot even understand it exists, right? There's a word for it, and I forgot what it's called. But it's that, and I think AI art is great at that because we're dealing with a artificial intelligence, which we don't quite get. I think it's a great pairing with poetry because of that. Where poetry is just trying to communicate an emotion or something more than specifically tell a story in most cases. So yeah, that's the goal. Be very sad if I don't finish it by Halloween, so I think I'll be able to button down and do it. But yeah. It really doesn't take. I just have to zone out and just do it. So there's some creepy images that are pretty cool that I was able to generate, and then you pair it with the words, and it should be very unsettling. By themselves, they're unsettling, right? But then you have some intelligence trying to communicate what the image is communicating to you as well, so you get a better general idea. But it's still this weird, incomprehensible, almost horrific thing. I think I was stoked by this idea. And I think the images came out better than I thought they would in many cases. So, yeah. So I've got to generate a few more. I've got to letter all of them, and then I have to place them in the proper order. That last part's the one that might be very difficult. Because if I place them in the proper order, it should communicate an either further story as you're going further, right? Just a little bit more of the bit. You should see if you can generate a basilisk. Okay. I'm aware of basilisks with, like, Medusa. So a lot of my... that was part of the bit that stopped me generating more images. It's like I ran out of horror tropes I really wanted to use. Like, there was a Frankenstein image that was not Frankenstein. Like, I came close to one. Here's the first one dollar coin saw, for instance. I like this one. This was about a sorcerer trying to tell. Well, you can read it. Sorcerer once told a witch, "I have newt, won't scratch your itch. Won't you try the stronger brew, the bitter taste of my wicked hoodoo?" That is not the image I wanted, but it was perfect. Basically, what I was doing to generate these images was coming up with the poem and then literally placing the poem into Midjourney. That way I didn't know exactly what would come out, but it should apply, right? And then I would, generate, refine, and then find images that would work, and then go further. But that's super unsettling. That's the bit. It's supposed to be unsettling. So, I think this will work. I think it's a cool idea. So hopefully I get it done in time, and then it'll be up on Global Comics for free. Because it'll technically be a comic. It's just a very weird one, but I think it's the proper way to use AI art. So, I'm glad. So that's the thing, right? You also can throw in artists, right? So this was Mike Mignola. I did some that were Frazetta. I've done a lot that were Clayton Crane. Let me show you a Clayton Crane one. Not complete. Let me see what I have completed. But that's part of the bid, right? Yeah, I think this one was a Clayton Crane one. I could add more filters and stuff, but I've been leaving them as they are, and then I've been lettering them through the Pickverse dollar coins. That's how I'm doing the lettering. But yeah, I don't know. I really like this idea. I think it's neat. I just gotta buckle down and complete it, right? That's the bit. I've done some Frazetta. I've done some Mignola style. I've done Clayton Crane style. Michael Whelan, who well known for like heavy metal album covers. I did a couple pieces that's in his style, which this is one of them, but it doesn't really exemplify it. But yeah, that's totally Mike Mignola. You called it, Eliza Barr. that was the artist. So yeah, I would put the poem in there, and then if there was a specific artist I wanted to do it, like is that not in here? Oh, okay. Yeah, like here's another one that's really good, like Nola style. Especially on the Lovecraftian stuff, I tried to do Magnola because it just works out better. This one is, oh God, what's his name? Ito. Junji Ito. You feel the artist on Twitter getting the torches out. That's the big thing, man, right? But I want to show it's a tool, and that it cannot replace them, that they are irreplaceable. However, this is a thing that exists now. Come to terms with it, or not. I just don't think you'll like what happens if you don't come to terms with it. So we'll see. Like most of the comics that have produced, they use actors, right? Like the big one that like went viral was a Zendaya. It was her, and it was just, again, you can't keep a character flowing through panel to panel with AI art. It is not possible. It's starting from scratch each time, and even if it wasn't, and say you inject another image as a starting point, it doesn't know what aspects to take from that image. It's impossible to have that dialogue with this machine. So you need an actual artist. It's not possible. Unless you're doing something like what I'm doing, which is just random bullshit paired to random bullshit. Like a lot of people are doing, I saw these crop up where they're doing AI images to songs, which is kind of was my inspiration here, like War Pigs or whatever, where they'll use the lyrics and they'll use those lyrics to generate an image, and then they'll make a video out of the sequential images to go with the song. It's neat. I think that's fun. I think that's fine. But yeah, this was supposed to be Ito. There were pieces that were closer to Ito, but it went super schoolgirl. This I wanted more because I was looking for. It's another one about witches. Again, the words are actually super important to these pieces. This is here's the one. This was Frankenstein. That ain't Frankenstein. But fuck, is it unsettling? So I kept putting the same demonic. That's the bit, right? This is a new creature. Whether or not it's actual intelligence or has a soul, it can imitate those actions. And since you're dealing with the chaos of this image generation and the chaos of the internet, how it grabs things, and you're dealing with all this chaos, that means you're dealing with infinite potential, and that is very cool and utterly terrifying. Utterly terrifying. Substone. I just wanted to make something unsettling. And I think I'm going to succeed in it. I just actually have to, do it. All of these have the poems already attached to them. I just literally have to go and letter the images. But this was a Clayton Crane one as well. I love Clayton Crane's style. It's just, anyway, I don't want to spoil too much of it. The last selfie on Earth AI art. I might try that towards Halloween for the hell of it, but no, I didn't. I saw, some Ordinary Gator, Mudahar. I saw him kind of talking about that stuff, but that's it. Yeah, so I don't want to spoil all these images, but there's some cool stuff. And I have more to generate still, and I have even more in the letter. So, I'll get there. At least I got one done so far. It's almost one. I gotta bring my pup in. I should eat something. I haven't eaten yet. We're at 3 hours. I was thinking either I'll come back and work on these, which is what I should do, or I was thinking of coming back and painting. I talked about that at the beginning of the stream. There's a particular 40K figure I would like to get down, but I don't know if my paints are still good. If they are, maybe we'll come back and do that. Just hang out, paint. That would be cool. I haven't done that for a long time. Or we'll come back and work on this. But I do need to stop and eat something, and I have to figure out if I have to go to town and a couple other things. So I guess I should do that. Stream went far longer than I thought it would. Yeah. But yeah, that's the Halloween project. I'm excited for it. I just gotta buckle down and complete it before I'm overwhelmed by other projects. Right now, what's on my menu is I've got a song I've got to learn for this band thing that I'm trying. I've got and that's a tough, like, for the guitarist, it's insane. For me, on bass, it's not too bad, but there's some parts I'm gonna have to fake because I'm just not that type of skilled. I don't play bass like that. But I've got that, and I don't know how soon I have to learn that, so that's kind of a gamble. I've been learning other songs to get my chops back, which has been nice. Then I've got this AI art Halloween project. Then Jack, I've got to do the lettering script for, which is a lettering combo coloring script. I already did a coloring script just because Steve started on the colors. So I was like, I better have something down just because there's some storytelling bits that will need to be communicated through the color work to just reinforce it and make sure it's clear. And then I have to do the lettering script, like I said, lettering script for Vince, which is just a rewrite and cutting a ton of fat from my original script. And that might be it. I mean, there's a couple other things that are going to come up whether or not I want them to, but I need to, those three things I need to get done as soon as possible. And they're all kind of overwhelming. 2 points. Like, this one's easy. Again, I just got to sit down and get in a zone and then just plow through these. Put something on in the background to watch, some stupid long live stream from somebody or something. And that'll do it. Literally, yeah, I can put on that, the 7-hour stream or something I had in mind that some guy had on. Just sit there. Letter. It's not a problem. Yeah. I think this will be cool. It's a stupid thing, and again, as Lasbar said, you could feel the artists on Twitter grabbing their pitchforks. I don't know. I'm not gonna market it heavily as AI art. Like, the title of the project should make that obvious. But if somebody doesn't pick up on it, it's fine with me. I'm not gonna be selling it, so there's not gonna be any problem there, I would hope. And it's just fun. It's just fun. And I think it's a way to help prove that this is a tool if you want it to be. Otherwise, it's a near unbeatable enemy. Those are your two choices as an artist with this thing existing. It's a Pandora's box, and either you can revel in the chaos and make something out of it, and maybe make something even good out of it, or probably be destroyed by it. And I don't want to see folks destroyed by it. I don't think every artist should have to use this or even have to deal with it, but it will become a factor in any artist who's trying to make, novel covers, any kind of corporate gig. It's going to be very hard for this not to be a factor in your creativity if you're making your money off of your creativity. Period. It's gonna be tough, and eventually it's gonna be pretty goddamn good. And at that point, some trouble. Probably gonna be some trouble. Yeah, folks. I guess I should call it and eat. Get the dog in, because she just had breakfast a couple hours ago, and she's just been out in the yard. She's probably thirsty. Missing her dad. I haven't seen the cat for a little while, so she's either napping or the whole house is on fire in that room. I don't know. Thank you folks for dropping by. It's been a fun stream. A lot covered. It was fun once it started working. Again, I would like to be back in a couple hours. And I might be, again, I'll either be painting or working on this AI art. I'll probably do the AI art thing just to get it done. But I'd like to paint too. I don't know. But yeah, covered all the life updates earlier in the stream. I covered Jack 4 multiple times throughout. So if you folks are curious, I caught back up. I missed last week's stream and I felt bad about that. Let's try Warhammer. It's funny, I got the other treat I got myself from getting this new job was because I saw the deck prices are starting to spread. So I'm an MTG guy. I love Magic the Gathering. During my mom's death, like it gave me a place and an objective in which to escape for a while and have fun and all these other things back in 2015. So MTG has a special place in my heart. I played it years before as well, but not as much. But anyway, they did the 40k decks, and I got myself one of those. I haven't been able to play it yet, but it's goofy to see sci-fi fantasy in Magic the Gathering. It's a little goofy. I also... But anyway, so that vibe came back. Dark Tide, I really wanted to play, and I got, maybe 5 minutes of gameplay after like 4 hours of trying. It wasn't good. I deleted those streams. When people came through those streams, they know. But I've been getting back into 40k. I put the models out and put them back on display. I have only one army that's fully painted. My Dark Angel army, the first one I got. That's fully painted. Except for one figure, technically. So that's back in this when I was redecorating. So that's back on display, and I just put some Space Wolves I had in storage because I couldn't fit them anywhere. They were taking up too much space. I put those back on display, but I need to paint them all the way through. They're just base coated in most cases. So there's one figure in particular I'd like to paint on stream, but we'll get there. My orcs need to be painted as well. There's a lot of painting I would love to do to finish and just have it done and have these gorgeous painted armies. 40k itself, like it is depending on the size of the army you want to play with, it is especially if you're coming back to it after not playing for a long time, it is hours of a day. It's like a 5-hour game in some cases, so it's very rare. Again, I'm not seeing my friends all too often. The pandemic kind of changed rhythms there, right? And even then, it wasn't all the time, but it was like once or twice a month. And now I'm lucky if it's once or twice every couple months I see my friends. So, board games, tabletop games, trading card games, right? I don't get to play them as often, which sucks. But let's try Warhammer. Yeah, the beta's been over for a while. It comes back on the 17th. They're doing another closed beta, and it actually releases on the 30th. I'm hoping by the next beta, I refunded it. Like I couldn't play it. I'm not giving them money ahead of time for a game that I literally could not play, no matter how hard I tried. So I refunded it. I no longer have it on pre-order, but I'm gonna get it again on the 17th. And if it runs, great. If it doesn't run, I might still hold on to it because I want to play Dark Tide. And I know eventually either Nvidia's graphics drivers are going to catch up like it did with Elden Ring, or they're going to patch it and it'll work. Because Vermintide 2 works great on my PC, so and it's the same fucking engine. They just added more graphics and a couple more bits to it. So I'm hoping it works by then, dollar coins. But then, if you want to play that, then it's basically just Left 4 Dead. So we've played Left 4 Dead before. I would love to play that with you. So that's the 17th of November next month. So I'll let you know. $40 for the standard, $60 for the Imperial Edition or whatever that gets you the extra costumes and all that. So I will be getting that, and hopefully it works next time because I've been hyped for Dark Tide for forever. So yeah, we should play that when it's back in beta, if it works. Otherwise, I can't. I would love to play something with you again too, brother. I need to we need to get further in Elden Ring. I would like to beat that game. Far Cry 5, if you're still up for it, but you basically kind of saw what the game is with the 7 hours or so we put in Friday. Like, the whole game's basically that. You get better guns or whatever. You get a few more skills, right? But you basically saw the entire game of Far Cry. It's just going through the story if you want to and actually enjoying the combat. That's the whole thing. So I'd be happy to play that with you again if you feel up to it and go fishing again or whatever. I love playing on screen because we did have some fun moments, some stupid fun moments. I still don't know why I don't have a decelerate. Like, I don't know why. In planes, I can't slow down, so all of the landings just broken. It's pretty funny. That would be kind of fun at some point. I bet it is more fun. It's like 15 hours to beat it. We're basically like we screwed around a lot, but if we actually just sat around and just did the story missions, like we're probably a third of the way done with the game, and we could probably beat it in another 8 hours. We could beat it on stream pretty easily. We could do that at some point. I'm just trying to juggle these projects, and if I can get a little bit of every project done every day, I'll be fine. I'm learning, again, I've been relearning bass a little bit. I've been learning songs I wanted to learn forever the last couple days, so that's been good. So I'm putting a little energy there. The AR thing is the thing that I dropped, and I put a little bit of energy now, but that was nothing. I was just fixing something that was broken last time, right? Not much. Again, I just need to sit down. 5 hours, I'll have that project done. And then the Jack stuff with the lettering script is a little bit tougher. I'm mainly because I'm intimidated by it, because there are 4 conversations I have to nail. Like the actual basic storytelling, easy peasy. Maxie's doing all the heavy lifting there now, right, with the line art. But the 4 conversations make or break what I did in this issue. So I'm super intimidated by it. That's why I haven't started the lettering script. I'm still trying to figure out like how I handle each of those 4 conversations. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But if I can nail those, then I'll feel more confident in the much harder job in issue 5. Issue 5, the conversations are much more personal. A lot less just like, why can't you see this? Of issue 4, more like, yeah, we all know these things, right? We don't want to talk about it, but we all know these things, right? That's 5. 4 is, well, why don't you talk? What is that? You see it too, right? Which was a little bit in issue 2. I did a little bit, but much more clumsily than I want to handle issue 4. So that's the one I'm intimidated by. But again, I'll probably hit a zone with it at some point. So yeah, I just got to make sure I got time for those things and then doing work. I was maybe supposed to be covering for somebody this week, but they never got back to me about it. So as far as I'm aware, I have today and tomorrow off. Certainly today, because they never got back to me. But as long as I have tomorrow off, I have got time to do things. So yeah, we'll just chat. Let me know if you want to play something at some point, and I'll do the same. Maybe we'll stream it. But yeah, do we hit? We're almost 3.5. Perfect. I just want to round it out. So, folks, thank you so much. Hopefully I covered everything I needed to cover. Hopefully the first half hour or whatever isn't completely worthless. I deleted the streams where I was trying to get this thing running. So that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. I'm excited. Got some creative energies flowing that I haven't had for a very long time. The music one in particular, I was surprised how nice it was to have that come back. Music's always been an important part of my life, but playing music with other people, it's a big difference, and it means a lot. Okay, do it. Also, my work is tiring, physically, emotionally, and mentally, but it's not hours-wise at the moment, which was part of the concern and the thing I kind of had to negotiate with them. It's not that bad. Like Friday, again, I worked that day that we played all those games. I worked that day. I had the next day off, which was nice, but I worked that day, so it's all doable. Lizbar does need to hop into Elden Ring with us. I don't know. Maybe help me beat Melania together, we could try that. That'd be nuts. I still need more levels though, don't I? I need to grind, and the combat's really fun. I just need to sit there and grind, which is theoretically in the mind, the term grind does not like equate to fun, but it's fun. I like the combat. I need to practice. And, yeah, but that would be killer if Elizbar's here. I can bug you if you're interested in joining us and trying to help me. Exactly, trying to help me get through some of the bits in Elden Ring. It would be nice. It would be nice to say I beat that game. It's a stellar game. It's definitely the game I've been most impressed with this year, by far. That's not saying much because I don't get a bunch of new games, but like graphically, gameplay, just all of it, super impressed. It's also the most frustrating gaming experience I may have ever had. But that's a From Software game, right? Get Black Knife Tish for your summon, and she can almost summon. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, my summons are terrible too. Like I'm behind on so much stuff in upgrading. Like I think I've just like with you folks just kind of willed myself through some of these fights that like I had no business willing myself through, which is one of the nice things about that. You got mad at her, you ground 100 levels, and then you crushed her to Scarlet Buck. Oh, that's great. That's a great way to put it. That's hilarious. Alright. Well, I got 5 minutes. 2 minutes with the trailers. Alright, we got 2 minutes, folks. If there's any questions, anything you want to say, now's the time. And then I'm going to stop because I do need to eat. I need to check on the dog. I need to check on the cat. I need to check on the chickens. And, actually, there's a couple of household duties I need to do too. Dishes, laundry. And then I'll come back. I don't know what we'll be doing again. It would be smart to do the AI art, but I might just paint because I like painting, and I haven't painted for a very long time. Drawing is easier to set up, but I feel like painting. As long as I have paints that will work for what I'm going to try and do, I'll paint. Will you eat tuna sandwich? Maybe. I think I'm going to do a classic breakfast thing, which is sausage, hash browns, and eggs. I've got way too many eggs thanks to my chickens, like way too many eggs. So I'm trying to at least have Alita, my pup, she gets 2 eggs, one with her kibble in the morning, one with her kibble in the late afternoon. But I'm getting up to like 3 or 4 a day, so I'm not keeping up with that. So I'm trying to eat more eggs. Good protein, tasty, straight from my chickens who are reprocessing a lot of leftovers as well as their own kibble or their own pellets, layer pellets they call them. So yeah, probably not tuna, probably sausage, hash brown, and eggs because that sounds damn good. That was the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some hard-boiled eggs because they last longer. I like me some hard-boiled eggs. I just haven't sat down and boiled for a while. It's not even a tough thing to do. I just need to go ahead and do it. That'll save them because I tried to give an older egg to my pup from earlier in the season and put it in her kibble, and she just like sniffed it and then looked at me and then walked away. I was like, oh, you're usually very hungry. Something's wrong here. And I couldn't smell anything wrong with the egg, but obviously that egg was no good. So I had to waste kibble and the egg, which was not that fun. So I gotta get to some of these quicker. Pickle some eggs. I don't know if I've ever had a pickled egg. I only know it as like a joke food at Moe's Bar in The Simpsons, right? Like I don't know pickled eggs. Wonder if they're good. I like some pickles. I don't like all pickles, but I do like some pickles. So maybe they're good. You love a good egg salad sandwich because nothing says yum like chopped up, coated in whipped egg. Yep. Chopped up eggs, coated in whipped egg. Yes, mayo. Yes, indeed. That'd be something else too. Make homemade mayonnaise. That's probably pretty good. Homemade mayonnaise probably has a much different connotation than the literal one, which I mean, but I don't care. Okay, we're out of time where I can end, and it'll be 3:30 or 3 hours 30 minutes. So perfect. Thank you folks so much. I'm hoping I'll catch you later, If I don't, I don't. But I'll try and catch you tomorrow. I've been meaning to stream, and like I just missed last week because of work and craziness. So I tried to do a little bit more today, and I'm glad it actually like stabilized. Eliza Bar was here when it wasn't stabilizing. Not great. So maybe it'll be stable if I do another one later. Anyway, thank you, folks. Been up some mayonnaise, exactly. That's the connotation I did not mean, but it is what it is. All right, adios, amigos. Vaya con Dios, and I'll catch you later.